Most players in that scenario get drafted, they go to a rebuilding team, whereas you got drafted to a dynasty.
It's a different situation. The things that you do on this stage are magnified. It was funny one time, my 11th grade year, Cade and Ryan, they was wrestling for like an hour.
That was insane.
And it was like mattresses and stuff. I don't know why they was in the room.
Y'all are serious?
Like just because you on a bow and arrow don't mean you don't need to know how to use a sword when that opportunity comes.
He's spin.
He been out this whole time. He ain't even been able to be on the court. I'm like, I ain't trying to be the one that hurt Klay Thompson.
Not again.
Right now, we need to figure out ways to win. So, however I can be beneficial to that.
The cranium is crazy. Oh my God.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters rejoice.
Put some side, baby. Give me a wall. I'm going crazy.
It's gonna be busted down for real.
Okay, I'm including that. Y'all, they just started dancing before I started the intro. I'm not gonna give you any context. There you go. Welcome back to another episode. As you guys saw, the little intro that played before, Donovan and Mo started getting down with it. Very special episode today.
Getting down with it.
This is a serious,
very special episode. We have a special conversation with Warriors guard Moses Moody. It was a cool conversation. We went out to the Warriors facility, got to sit down with him, talk about his career coming into the Warriors, what it felt like coming into a team, playing next to legends of the game and Steph Curry, Draymond, Klay, etc. Really cool conversation from a guy who has an interesting perspective compared to other young players.
And let them know. After he talked to us, he had a great game. He put up 19 points. So like, listen, we kind of had, I'm gonna take credit for that from us three. I'm gonna say that our conversation was motivation.
You took credit for that. I've been took credit for it 2 days ago when it happened. So I'm way ahead of you. I already took all the credit. There's none left for you to take. It's all over here.
That's fine.
I think we gave him the juice and I'm taking the most credit for it.
That's fine.
But yeah, man, after we have this interview played for you guys, we'll get into our normal episode stuff. We're going to do the secondary main topic of this episode. We're going to do a vibe check for a lot of teams around the league. It's going to be an hour long of that. So you're not missing out on a normal TD3 app. There's going to be a full episode for you guys, followed by obviously an hour of TikTok time games. It'll be a fun time. But for now, before we get into all that normal stuff we do, I'm going to send you over to Moses Moody. All right, y'all. We are joined today for a very special episode. Usually when we start these, I do these cold open intros. There's three of us here in different environments. Just three of us as always. Today we're joined by a very special guest, Golden State Warriors guard Moses Moody. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, no problem.
You had a really good 2024. It's December 29th we're recording this. It's the end of the year. 2024 has been good to you. So I got to ask, how does it feel to be paid? How does it feel to be the second stage of your NBA career?
Yeah. It's really cool in the sense of like your whole time you got you're in the NBA, you get your first contract, which I don't mean to like that's substantial and it's a great opportunity, but then just moving into that next level and being able to like support your family in that way. And then it's opportunity, but really just security for life. So being able to kind of do that for the first time is really a good time.
I feel like every time people do a player podcast and they ask people about their first big payday, it's always, what was your first big purchase? It was, bought my mom a house, all this stuff. I don't want to know that. I want to know, is there any bougie habits you picked up on? Yeah. Like for instance, Mo here, as soon as we got a little bit of podcast money, he's never rode the subway a day in his life since. Uber everywhere.
I cannot confirm nor deny.
Did you feel yourself doing any little small bougie stuff you allowed yourself to do?
Probably I use Uber Eats a lot more than I used to. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. Listen, I gotta know, are you still on a family phone plan? Because I'm still on a family phone plan. I'm not leaving. I'm riding that till the wheels fall off.
Yeah. I rode it as long as I could. I got off about 2 years ago. But I was in the league on the family phone plan.
That's real.
Your parents like with a championship ring. They're like, nah, no more. It's time.
Now that you are at this point, though, and you have more flexibility to do whatever it is, what are like some of the cheaper habits that you have that you just simply won't believe in or won't splurge on?
I'm a really simple guy in a lot of ways to where I don't. The more simple I feel like my life is, the more peaceful it is, the less complex. So I don't try to complicate things that don't have to be. Yeah. So it's a lot of things that I don't change.
That makes sense.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Getting onto the basketball side, I think you're super interesting. I feel you have a very interesting POV as a young player in the league because highly touted draft prospect. You knew you were gonna be a lottery pick. most players in that scenario, some of your peers from high school, from college, get drafted, they go to a rebuilding team. So, they have tons of opportunity, go run 30 pick and rolls, get all the touches, develop on ball. Whereas you got drafted to a dynasty. You come in with the expectations of being the second timeline, kind of giving new life to a dynasty. That's a very different, perspective as a young player. How do you feel that kind of altered your POV coming into the league compared to, some of your peers?
It was definitely different, but, good stuff, bad stuff, who knows type of thing. Because some of those guys are put in a situation to where they play and get to work out the stuff off rip, but you also show what you can't do off rip. But being in a situation like this, you're able to kind of go develop behind the scenes, pick up habits and pick up things from players you watch play, players you're playing with on the same team. Learn how to play winning basketball, learn what that means, learn how to practice, learn different habits and stuff without being thrown out on the main stage, and then letting that happen later on. So, it's just a different journey.
Yeah, that makes sense. Fit is obviously everything. Some guys get thrown into the fire when maybe their game isn't best running 30 pick and rolls. So, do you feel like there was more pros and cons to that whole experience?
I mean, it just depends on perspective. Depends on the person, case by case scenario. I like to hoop, so if you get to hoop more, then that's positive too.
Yeah. What's that balance like? Because obviously, like, you've been in this organization for a couple years now. What's the balance between going into the off season and trying to work on your game, expand your game, try to add different things into your bag, but then you come into this system and you may not necessarily get the opportunity to show that. And so how is it navigating thinking I can do this, and then you get to camp and it's okay, the team needs me to do X, Y, and Z?
Yeah. That's an interesting dynamic, but it's more so I'm gonna work on it so I got it if I need it. That might not be my role to do it every game, all game, but there's definitely gonna be times to where you need to have it. I think of it back when it was when it was Vikings and all that, everybody was fighting and stuff. Just because you on a bow and arrow don't mean you don't need to know how to use a sword when that opportunity comes.
Yeah, spin. He's spin.
Bars.
Okay.
Got you.
So since you've been in the league, I want to ask, what has been the most elevating tips that you've gotten on the court or either off the court?
Yeah, I get a lot of gems and stuff, but I like to learn the most by observation, because somebody can tell you one thing and they can tell you how they want to do stuff, but you can see how they do it, see how they move, and learn better from observation than even what they would say. So I picked up a lot of stuff from that on the court and off the court. I done had some really good financial literacy conversations with older guys, whether if it's Andre, CP, Steph, Dre. Everybody's been able to just talk about personal finance in a different way that I've learned it before, because it's a different way. So that's all been good.
I love that you said Andre first, because we were joking earlier, thinking about you've played with some crazy amount of vets. The guys you named, obviously Steph, Dre, Clay, Chris Paul for a year. It's crazy when you think about the timeline of NBA greats. I just knew that you were going to mention Andre and financial literacy. We were joking I bet he got him right with the 401k, all these investments, everything. So that's great. That's actually true.
Yeah, it's cool because Andre love to talk too. So you can go ask him a question. He'll sit there and tell you everything you want to know. But being in the Bay with it too, he's so tied in with so many different people. It was a couple times. I went, Dreamforce happens here every year with Salesforce, that convention. So then I went to my agent Rich got me into this super big meet and greet type of situation with Mark Benioff and everybody was up there at the top floor of Salesforce. But then I see Andre in there, we didn't come together. But it's what's up, man? But that was cool.
That makes total sense. So obviously you've learned a lot of off the court stuff from these guys, like stuff you just mentioned. I'm interested in the on the court stuff. What you learn from them? Because we mentioned you coming into this specific circumstance, playing for this not just contending team, but a team that has a history of winning. They also have that history of winning because of their obviously very unique offense. What was it like adapting to that? Because I imagine in college and high school, you weren't setting so many screens, running off of so many screens, making these reads, having to pay attention to where Curry and Draymond are, all these very unique styles of play you got to play with the Warriors. What was it like making that adjustment?
Yeah, it's different because you kind of got to play. You got to play into it. You can't just they can't just teach you everything before the season and then but you got to make mistakes, get into it, different things as it evolves, as it changes, and get used to it. And that's kind of what it's been early on. figuring out the nuances of the offense. And then it's changed too. Different players come in, different things. You see coach changing the game plan, whatever that may be, but being able to keep up with that and then being able to hoop too and not be a robot.
Yeah.
What were some of the like tougher nuances that you had to learn on the court that just wasn't connecting to you immediately?
We play different than most teams that I play for. It's usually, the point guard is like the distributor, and then like the wing positions are like, that's a traditional offense a lot of times. But being with Steph, you got to know where Steph is at all times. If he get off the ball, you got to know where you're coming off the screen, set the pin in, whatever that may be. Yeah. And then Dre being the center and the point guard a lot of times, when he bringing it up, playing at the top of the key. That was different for me early on. Although it is a lot more space, but just knowing where those spaces are going to be, where the open shot's going to be, we took some adjusting to.
How is it obviously there's the uniqueness of playing for the Warriors on the court. I think most people don't realize, like, off the court, I feel like being a Warrior is probably extremely different than other teams, because the Warriors fan base is insane. It's like, it's so big, it's almost like a cult. Like, it's so intense that for so many people around the world, not just in Golden State, Steph Curry is like their Michael Jordan. So you are like, when you travel around, go to all these different countries, different cities, you guys are low-key like superstars. Do you feel more, I don't know, support from that or more pressure from that, being that big of a larger-than-life team?
I feel the support. It's a different situation. It's fun, just being at the top of the NBA and just in the fans' eyes and the public eye. Things that you do on this stage are magnified. Like, that's what I always say about the playoffs. Like, you make the same play you would have made in the regular season in the playoffs, and it's like, oh, you so amazing. Yeah. Same thing on the bad side too. You make a small mistake and it's magnified too. Exactly. But that's just like high stakes basketball, and that's the most fun way to play.
Yeah, you're the hero of the day, or you're the guy that ruined Steph Curry's 35-point game in game 2. Like, a lot of bad comes with the good.
How have you like ingratiated yourself with the fans, whether it be like, going out and having different events in the community, or just picking up on like small Bay Area things? Like, what kind of like Bay Area slang have you added to the way that you talk? Like, do you say hella a lot now? You listen to hyphy music. What kind of stuff like has Bay Area culture gotten into you?
Yeah, so I had to kind of adjust to it. It's different than I'm from the South, so it's different, but it's also a lot of similarities. And as I've been able to like go to Oakland and move around, I get to know people, and I get to know why things are the way they are, and you really get to make some relationships. And that part has been really cool about being here in two different ways. Like, me and my brother live here too. He worked with the Warriors in the media department. So we've been able to kind of move around, and he's the one that really brought it to my attention about how cool the culture is here. For one, it's so rich and so deep. Like, most of these people been here for a long time, and like with Tupac and all of the greats that came through here musically, and like activists and all type of stuff. Like, it's like the roots run deep in Oakland. So that part's been cool. And then how the people are cool too, just like because of that. Like, you can feel that in interactions, but it's also Silicon Valley. Yeah. And it's a lot of ambitious people here. They got a lot of resources. They got a lot to offer. And I really like to learn from people, especially like people that really know what they're talking about, really been doing something for a long time. So I've been able to get in some really good conversations and just really sit up and listen and pick up on game, rather if it's VC, rather if it's real estate, rather like so many different things, the ways that, and then too, just learn from people that have had money for a long time. Like, I've just acquired some traction and all of that, and I know you can give somebody $1 million that they don't know what to do with it, and it can mess up their life. So that knowledge is what really makes it good or bad. So just being able to be in a place that you can pick up on a lot of that.
And you've been around, like, you've been able to, be in different places, but obviously, like you said, you're still from the South. So like, what was one of the bigger culture shocks coming from Arkansas to being out here in the Bay Area?
Yeah. It's like I said, it's a lot more ambitious people. It's a lot more going on, a lot more at stake in a lot of conversations, a lot of stuff that's different, because the South, or Little Rock in particular is more, it's slower pace. So that comes in conversations. It's like that conversation that you're having with that person is just about that conversation that y'all having. It's not about insinuations that they making or what that person can do for you or whatever that is. It's genuinely about this conversation, and that part's cool.
A lot of networking going on around here. A lot of trying to get in with the right people. I know what you mean.
Which is cool too, though, because it's like the people that you're talking to, they have the power to do stuff, and then like all that, and it's cool to have genuine relationships with those people too, because I feel like a lot of times I can feel in conversations like that a lot of business people that used to having a lot more transactional conversation can kind of let their guard down because they see I'm just trying to talk to you and trying to have you teach, and I got a genuine intention when I'm coming to people to have conversations. And then a lot of times I can see that they're not used to that because they're used to having those conversations.
They're
that
not
you
used to
be
Southern
so
charm
guarded.
out here at all. I'm glad you mentioned that because I was watching a lot of interviews you've done, a lot of times you talk to the media. I feel like people don't know that you are like incredibly mature for your age. I don't know if you grew up being told you're an old soul and stuff like that, but that's the first thing I thought about. You have so many quotes I've heard you say in the media. I want to run through a little of them, and then you let me know what you think about them. Because you already gave us one earlier in the interview, so clearly you got a bank of them. I heard you say, "A fool looks for happiness in the distance, while a wise man grows it under his feet."
That's
Bars.
tough. That's tough.
nasty.
That's tough.
He said, "Don't be surprised when the boat rocks during the storm. It's supposed to. Life is a storm, and everything's a journey." And my favorite one. You give a pig a pancake, and he gonna want some syrup. Where do you get all these from? Because you have so many in the bank that are so insightful. Where does that come from?
Like I said, like I'm observant. So like when I talk to people, if somebody say something that made sense to me, I'm gonna remember it forever.
Yeah.
It's because I understood it. And then I got a lot of old people in my family too. Like my great uncles and aunties and all of that. I've been sitting on the couch hanging out with them my whole life. And then my dad kind of talks with them too.
I gotta ask, right? So obviously, like you're from Arkansas, and right now, at least online, people are talking a lot about what people from the South may eat for the holidays, right? And so I saw the other day, like Jerry Jones, who said he's from Arkansas. He said that him and his family, they eat raccoon and like they eat, squirrel brain. Is that something that you and your people do? Like, do you be eating raccoon like that? Like, what's one of the country's things that y'all have eaten?
Nah,
That's not you.
Nah. I mean, to each his own. I'm sure some people do their own
Shout out
thing,
Jerry.
but they won't do that. I probably done got into crazier stuff since I've been out here.
Ooh, like what?
I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, calamari, if you think about it, that's kind of crazy. Octopus.
Tentacles.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm adventurous. Like, I'll try new stuff.
Speaking of adventures, this past summer you went to South Africa and you went over there. You were coaching the youth and you gave a lot of game and all that. And I understand you were giving a lot of information, showing them the roots and the way to, be professional. But as the teacher in that instance, what were you able to like gather and learn when it comes to giving back to the youth?
Yeah. I was able, that's a great way to ask that question because like going over there, it was more so me learning than me teaching because we was in South Africa, we was in Johannesburg, but it was kids there from all over the continent. They live in so many different ways, and so like all the players on my team and stuff, I should have been talking to them about basketball more than I did because I'm sitting there like asking where you from, like how y'all live, what y'all do for fun, what you eat. So like that was a really good experience for me in that way. But the main thing that I was trying to get across to them was like capitalizing off opportunity because all of them wanted to be basketball players. They want to go to the NBA because that's what they hear about. That's the way to make it, quote unquote. But I'm trying to tell them like, no, this is an opportunity. Like basketball is an opportunity that doesn't have to end up in the NBA, but this camp is an opportunity. It's plenty of people here that can have an effect on your life. So just being able to be open and looking for opportunities and trying to capitalize off of them.
That's awesome. Now, going back to the thing about you coming to the league being very mature, do you feel like you gravitated towards those older teammates early? Because I was listening to those podcasts you went on with some of those teammates like Draymond. It seems like he really felt a connection to you early on, it seemed like. Was that likewise? Did you feel like you really gravitated towards more veterans in the locker room?
Yeah, I did. But a lot of the connections that I've had on this team, I feel like are really genuine.
Yeah.
Just because I'm open to other people in conversations, and so wherever those conversations lead can make a connection.
Yeah, you want to learn.
Yeah, so I used to go to Draymond room all the time. I still go in there all the time and just have conversations, let him talk, see what he got to say. Because like I said, coming into the NBA, I ain't never been here before, and you've been here for like 11 years at that point.
Yeah.
So I just had questions, and he answered them, and a kind of relationship kind of formed from that. Same thing with Loan, Wiggs, Juan, D. Lee, all those guys that was here my first year.
Yeah. Always wanted to learn. Makes total sense. I was listening to another podcast where a football player was talking about from the point he was a rookie to like year 6 in the league, he learned a lot of like OG tricks. Like in the NFL, it was wear the same color gloves as your opposing team's jersey. So if you hold them as a corner, they won't see it. And you're talking about Draymond, who is Draymond. Did he teach you any OG tricks like that? Any small things that you can get away with?
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff you can see that they do, but I ain't gonna tell you. Yeah, it's gonna blow up the spot.
Yeah, he taught you how to do those moving screens, didn't he? He taught you how to use those hips. Stick 'em
We
out.
know. We know.
When we're talking about like Arkansas and going back to that and your experience over the summer, I think one of the really cool things that you did was like you had the trade summit and you were teaching kids, like you said, playing basketball isn't the only way to make it, right? And you can do other things. And one of the things that you said in the interview was like you were out there like laying bricks with them. Like, can you expand a little bit more on what that experience was and like, helping kids understand it's not basketball or nothing to make it in the world?
Yeah, that's cool. I see. I really did your research. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, it was an event that we did focused on the youth, but that was the gist of it. Just because it's a lot of jobs and opportunities that come close to basketball. So many people don't make it to the NBA or don't make it overseas or whatever it is in basketball. So then they end up doing something completely different. But it's a lot of jobs that are parallel. So it could be like nutritionists, chefs, and then we got like stylists, we got photographers. Y'all do podcasts around sports. Like it's so many different opportunities and jobs right next to it. That's not that big of a pivot. So. And kids don't think about wanting to do that because they're not exposed to it. They don't know about it. So that was a big thing, just bringing people back. So we had like a room like this to where somebody would it was very interactive to where it's not a teaching setting. It's like, no, we having a conversation and I'm just telling you about what I do and you can ask about it, talk to each other about it and make like a cool dialogue like that. But it was also, we partnered with a group called Trades for Life who had, like you said, laying brick. We had a barber out there. We had like a card where they learning how to change a tire. Welding, like all type of trades that you can have that don't necessarily have to be full-time jobs, but it's just skills that you can pick up on. And I'm out there learning just like they are. Like I didn't know how to lay brick before I got out there, but I learned at the same time they did. So and it's also creating the community around learning how to learn, because that's a big thing. Like a lot of people. It's not that they don't want to learn something. They just don't know they don't know the questions to ask. They don't know their own learning style, because school is kind of based off one learning style. So people get confused and don't think they're smart.
Mm-hmm. And for you, so like if you weren't in the NBA, what's a job that you could see yourself doing?
I could see myself doing a lot of jobs just because I have that mindset. Like I would want to pick up on a lot of trades. So I could be back home and I could be doing all type of stuff. Like I learned how to cut hair. I could learn how to like invest. I can learn how to invest in real estate. I can learn how to it's so many different things to where I don't know where I would go, but I'd be in a lot of different. And I don't even got to be from not in the NBA, because like I said, those are all trades you can do with a job. So I'm still gonna learn how to do all that stuff I'm talking about.
I watched an interview where you said that when you were 13, 14 years old, you for a second you wanted to become a judge, right? Is that true? And then you witnessed someone get like 30 to 40 years to life, and you're like, I'm good.
Yeah, that was kind of. That wasn't really. It got. I know what you're talking about. But it wasn't really like that. I never really wanted to be a judge. The thing I was saying was, like as a kid, you kind of need something to say, because everybody always say they want to be a basketball player when they grow up. So that was something that I kind of was like, I wonder what it is. I wonder what that's about. And then we had an assignment for school to where everybody had to go job shadow a job, and I went to job shadow the judge, and I seen that. Somebody got sentenced to 40 years. Because I was thinking about it more so in a way like I got a lot of uncles that done been to jail, that's been through a lot of stuff. So I want to be in a position where I can help them and like see the good in people and make. But then when I went in there, I saw the opposite and saw people that really did need to go to jail, and you the one that got to kind of make that happen, and that ain't what I wanted to do.
Maybe the judicial system kind of sucks. It's way different when you're 13 versus like 16. You know a little bit. It's like never mind. Yeah. I'm glad he mentioned what are the job what you kind of want to do in the world, because that transitions it. I want to play a little game. I kind of want to, on that same topic, see how well you know some of your teammates. Okay. I want to name one of your teammates, and you tell us what job you think they would do if they weren't in the NBA, just based on their personality and what their interests are.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So first off, how about Draymond Green?
Draymond, he'll probably be doing TV, podcast, that type of thing. I was just in a conversation and everybody was kind of saying what they would be doing if they wasn't in the NBA.
Really?
Yeah, and he was saying some job that everybody in Saginaw, Michigan does. I don't know if it was a factory job or whatever it was, but I mean, he would probably end up be doing something different. But he was saying if he's back home, then that's what everybody do back home.
I could see him doing something on TV. I could see him being a talker for a living.
Yeah,
that adds up.
Do it now.
Exactly. Easy pivot. Okay. What about Klay Thompson? I feel like he's a man of many interests. Which one do you think he'd go down?
Yeah. The easy answer would definitely be something with the boat. But if you really know Klay Thompson.
It's a hard one. He's a man of many interests.
That's why I say it's gonna be kind of hard because people, like I know what people like to do, but do you want to do that for a living?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, last one then. Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, golfer.
Golfer?
Yeah.
You think go pro?
He's easily. I've seen the clips. Like he's gotten a hole-in-one before. He's done all this stuff. Like he the way he talks about golf, sometimes it sounds like he loves golf more than basketball. He loves golf.
And then he a golfer for real. Like he golfed like for a while too. So it's not like you just picked up on it when you was in the NBA. Like no, he really likes to golf. So I could see him going in that direction.
Have you been on any of the golf trips with Steph and everybody else who golfs on the team?
Nah, I'm learning how to golf, but I ain't on that level yet. But when we was in Hawaii, my dad was there with me. So we went to the course, and they was going to the course too. So I just rode over there with them, but then I went with my pops and they went together.
Oh, gotcha.
What are some other off the court activities you're really into, like golf or whatever it may be? Any other kind of sporting related ones that you kind of get that competitive stuff off in?
Yeah, like I said, I like a lot of different stuff. So I like golf. Me and my brother and my dad getting into that. I like ping pong. When I was at Montverde, we played all day. I like pickleball. I've been doing that in the summertime. I want to learn how to play some instruments, so I've been playing around with that a little bit. I want to learn how to. I'm trying to get into shooting like bow and arrows and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, when I was
man, that's crazy. Bow and arrows is wild as like a hobby. I've never heard anybody say like, "I would just pick up this bow and arrow here." Just have a little fun.
Jerome Robinson, he was with our team last year. He did it like on off days. Like he lived in my building, so I would walk running to him. And he finna go shoot bow and arrows. I didn't know how to do it at that point, but I like to try that out.
That's cool.
So you mentioned Montverde earlier. I want to know, how was your experience there? How Montverde came to be the option, and how did you differentiate Montverde versus all the other schools that you were leaning towards?
Yeah, I never really thought about other prep schools. It's not like I wanted to go prep, so I needed to go find a school. It was kind of Montverde. Like I met them, they told me what it could be. I went and toured the school and everything, and just went that way. But I was in Arkansas playing, and I'm glad you asked me that, because I know a lot of kids now, they're in their hometown and they feel like when they supposed to go prep and all of that, but prep is not for everybody. Prep is not for most people. So I would, if I'm encouraging or talking to people, because even in my city, I see a lot of people trying to do it similar to my journey, and think that's how you get to the NBA. But it's a lot of benefits to staying back home and playing around there and learning the game that way.
What makes you say that it's not for a lot of people? What specifically about prep happens in between those doors that's just most people ain't built for it?
You moving away from your family and your friends. And when you go to college, everybody moving away.
True.
So it's easier. But when you 15, 16 years old, everybody else is still in high school doing the same stuff they was doing before you left. And that seems fun. You want to be a part of that. And you going to meet a whole new group of people. And then you're not around people that, your coaches or whatever, everybody around you is at work. Don't nobody really love you like that. And you still a kid. So you got to grow up a lot earlier, a lot sooner.
I feel like that sounds like something that would kind of lead to you getting a close relationship with the people you do that experience with. So do you feel now in the league a certain type of bond with the guys you were teammates with there?
Yeah, for sure. That was my dog. I would even probably still say my senior year, the team we had there was probably the closest that I've been with the team.
Really?
Just because we lived together, we go on tournaments together, but we all really liked each other. We always was wrestling and playing and all day. That was my dog.
Who was the best wrestler out of the group?
Me, no question. No question.
You versus Scotty Barnes, 1-on-1 Hell in a Cell. You're coming out on top?
It would always be like me, K. Scotty didn't really wrestle like that, but he would. But it would always be me, Scotty. No, me, K. Usually me and K versus Ryan and Caleb Nimhart and Houston.
Yeah.
No, he and the Magic,
Yeah,
Orlando.
yeah.
But in the order it would be me, Cade, Dayron versus Ryan, Caleb, Derek Whitehead. I don't know. We just used to always wrestle.
What kind of wrestling are we talking about? Are y'all over there doing like
Is it
jiu-jitsu on each other?
WWE or jiu-jitsu?
Nah,
or
don't nobody know. Well, actually, it was funny. One time, my 11th grade year, Cade and Ryan, they did this whole wrestling. They was wrestling for like an hour.
That was insane.
And it was like mattresses and stuff. I don't know why they was in the room.
Y'all are serious.
But Caleb, Cade slamming them on the mattresses and everything. It was funny though, because they doing actual wrestling moves.
Yeah.
But nah, we just was always fighting. So we slap boxing, chest boxing, wrestling, whatever it turned into.
That sounds like some lifelong friendship shit. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
So how does it feel now? Cade's like, he's always been really good, but he's making that leap where the whole national media is understanding this guy's at an all-star level. What's it been like seeing that for him? And what do you feel like is a difference for him this year?
Okay, he can hoop. So he's smart. So I feel like the more he gets to, he was hurt all second year, but the more he gets to like pay attention to stuff, pick up on tendencies, be in the same situation, have the ball in his hand, he's gonna get better just because he's so observant and he know how to play the game.
When you first got to Montverde, was it like very clear and obvious, like, okay, he's going to be like this level of a player?
Yeah. Because that's when he started playing point guard for real. He didn't really play point guard before that. I don't think. I ain't really watching him before he got there. But just being however tall he is, 6'8" point guard and handle it and control stuff like you do, I can see it.
Do you remember one specific like moment or game where you looked over and you're like, that's a future star?
Nah, not one moment. But I mean, you were around somebody for long enough, then yeah.
Makes sense.
LeBron be having the things where you say like that one thing.
No, his memory's crazy. I don't expect you to have that encyclopedia in your head like he does.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
When you first went into Montverde, you came into school with a left foot fracture, correct? How was a lot of people, when it comes to injuries, we see the player get injured, we see you in crutches or whatever, and then we see you come back. How was the actual rehab process? Because no one really knows that.
Yeah, that was I ain't never been hurt. I ain't never been hurt like that before in my career. So I didn't have no surgery or nothing, but it was just a long time and I came back too early. And then for me, like I said, prep school is not for everybody.
Yeah.
I moved out here away from everybody to go to play basketball, and I can't even play basketball for like the first 4 months I'm there. I got to go to practice every day. I can't do rehab. I can't do nothing. I'm just sitting there on the side trying to stay awake while after school watching practice and stuff. So it was tough. But, our rehab got back together.
What does rehab look like? Are you like stretching and like taking your vitamins or whatever? Or what?
I mean, all that stuff too. Yeah. But it's a lot of weights involved to it. But like re-teaching muscles that's kind of falling asleep since you've been hurt, or things you're not using as much, because so many people get hurt and then they get better and come back and hurt themselves again because now they've been limping on putting more weight on one side than the other or whatever that may be. So it's kind of just correcting everything, getting used to playing again.
Speaking of rehab, I read that when Klay Thompson was doing his big rehab from the multiple injuries, you were often in charge when you returned to practice of doing one-on-one drills with him. It seemed like when he came back that first couple of weeks, he was getting a lot of bag shit off, where he looked like he was deep in the post, doing the stuff that we really seen him do before. Was that what he was working on during that time against you? Were you just stuck in the gym one-on-one, getting bagged up by Klay Thompson?
It was different for sure, because I'm coming in and I didn't know like what this is, because he been out this whole time. He ain't even been able to be on the court, and now y'all telling me to go play with him. I'm like, I ain't trying to be the one that hurt Klay Thompson. So,
yeah.
But then he come out, he getting straight in his bag, getting the hooping. So we had some really good runs.
I have one last question for you about your school, Montverde. So there's been a notorious conversation about who y'all got, Montverde or Montverde or blah, and I want to run that with you. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I have a few NBA teams in line, and I want to see if you guys would be superior to them. So who's better, Montverde or 2016 Chino Hills?
The famous debate everyone talks about online.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to let online have the debates and all of that, but I mean, we was a really good team. So.
Okay. Do you think that team, if you're in the NBA today together, how many wins did you guys get? That same starting five in the NBA?
Yeah.
If us as NBA players or when we was in high school?
As NBA players, like today, as you are in 2024.
Yeah, so when we was in high school, we not beating no NBA team.
Oh, of course not.
But as NBA players, I think we'll have a really good team.
Yeah. Could you imagine like those five in the NBA where you guys are today? That's a lot of NBA players in that team. Versus like the Villanova Knicks, they're all together now. Like that'd be a fun matchup. You think you guys would get that?
We could, because I mean we all play complementary positions, so it could happen.
Baked in
It'd be
chemistry
cool.
too.
Yeah. So let me see. We got Cade, me, Scotty, Dayron, Caleb, Reek, Derek Whitehead, and then Ryan doing his thing over there.
Versus Jalen
Thank
Brunson,
you, Gonzaga.
DiVincenzo, Hart, Mikal Bridges, Spellman. Y'all taking y'all on that one?
I'm gonna take us with every matchup.
That's a good one. I got a few more for you.
Right on.
What about Duke 2019? You got Trey Jones, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett, Zion, and Marquise Bolden.
I'm gonna go with that.
It's just clean sweep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun. Which one of those players do you feel you have a best like rivalry with now? When we play against each other, do you ever have like you playing against the Pistons or the Raptors or the Magic? Do you ever feel like you really want to like take on the experience of guarding them?
Come on, my teammates.
Yeah, your former teammates.
Uh,
Do you have a certain extra edge and a little extra goes into when you get to play against one of your, I would think is still a friend?
Yeah, it's always kind of like that. You know, it'd be weird when you see like players play against their friends and people be thinking, oh, they wouldn't play as hard because they're playing against their friend, but that's the people you want to beat the most.
Yeah, they play harder.
And it's just fun being out there, like knowing we was in high school together, and then now we're in the NBA with all of these other things going along, but y'all still out here together. That part's always cool. And Cade is especially one of those because we was roommates for those 2 years that I was there, so that's my dog.
What's some of the things? Because like obviously you're playing against your former teammates. You're really competitive. That's your friends. You're here every single day with the same 12 to 15 guys. They are your friends. You're making these relationships, but obviously like all of you are very competitive players. What are some of the things that you guys do around the facility where you might be like the best at? Like, are you guys having like daily card games and you are trying to make sure like you win all the time? You're playing daily chess games. Like what are the things that you guys do around this building?
Oh, you talking about the Warriors?
Yeah.
A lot of people's on chess.com. So, on there you can play chess games, but it's not like you don't got to sit there and play. Right now, it's like I can send a game, make a move, send it to you, and when you get free, you make a move and send it back to me. So I got a game with Clay. We've been playing for like 3 years. Or however long.
3 years on one game?
Not one game. No. we got like a running record, but we still play.
It's a war.
Yeah, but it's a lot of guys on the team and staff and everybody kind of be playing that.
I feel like right now, especially like we're seeing like chess get really, really popular in the NBA. And like, Wemby was out in New York the other day playing chess with the people, saying that there should be like an NBA-wide chess tournament. If you were in that, let's say like NCAA style, 64 people, where are you coming out?
I think it's levels to being good at chess. Like, it's some people that just know how to play, and then you can be good against everybody else that just knows how to play. But then, if you have like an opener, then you better than all of them people that just know how to play because you're gonna it's just gonna end up better for you. But then it's like you can be actually know how to play the full game and A2 to this place and then I'm gonna castle here and go there. And I'm not at that level.
You're not there.
So if you're talking about players just like that, then I don't want no smoke. But if you're in my range, I'm good.
So on the scale of like 1 to 10, what would you say your range is right now?
I know how to do an opener, and I know how to like just make good moves within the game. So
gotcha.
That's kind of is good. That's my level. But it's the same thing with ping pong. I used to say that I thought you was asking the question about Montverde at first, and I would have said ping pong because the whole team we used to always play that because we get out of practice at like 6:37, and then they lights off at like 10. So that whole time you playing ping pong, and so. But it was like I could beat anybody in the school at ping pong unless you play tennis. If you play tennis, I don't want no smoke. They different.
That skill translates over?
Yeah, 100%.
I never even thought about that. That's funny.
Yeah, it's different.
Are you a big NBA jersey guy?
Nah, I'm from Arkansas. We didn't have a team, so it wasn't like.
So do you have a favorite team at all?
The Warriors.
Lovely answer. Well, since you came into the league, I feel like the Warriors have one of the stronger jersey collections. You guys have every year the city jerseys, especially the throwbacks, have been really, really good. So I kind of want to get your opinion on some of the jerseys you've worn in the league. So what I'm gonna do is I have this iPad right here. I'm gonna show you some, and I just want you to tell me from 1 to 10 how would you rate it. Right. There's some better than others. Some you probably have personal attachments to. We'll start with this is my favorite jersey in the NBA the past like 5 years. What about this throwback Warriors jersey?
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I'm gonna give that one I get a 10.
Yeah, that's an easy 10 to me. The way the colors, that's how you do throwback jerseys, right?
Yeah.
I love that one. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10.
You can't deny it.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's do one that maybe isn't a little more controversial. Did you like this one with the rose in the bottom?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it, but I didn't hate it. It was I don't even really see the rows when I'm looking at the jersey.
Yeah.
I just kind of see the, and then that part's kind of tucked in anyways.
Mhm.
But yeah, I give it a 7.
Yes, and when it's tucked in, when you guys are fresh to start the game, the tip off, 9 out of 10. Third quarter, when it comes out a little bit, I see that gradient. It's a little stinky.
Nah,
Well, not
it's
great.
Straight 10 out of 10. You're not a fan of black and yellow?
I'm not a fan of gradient flowers on a jersey. I'm not a fan. It looks like it's from Venice Beach.
You pay too much attention to detail. That's all that tells me. The black and yellow always saves me.
Okay. What about this year's City jersey? You like this one?
Yeah, I like that one a lot too. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get the last one. I'm gonna bump it up. I'll give it an 8.5.
On the last one, really?
Yeah. I ain't not like it. A lot of people didn't, but I ain't not like it.
Okay.
That one I like that too, especially because when we wear it, we bring out the like the red sleeves and the headbands.
And the
that
court.
is
The
true.
court is tough. The court
court
brings
too.
a lot of aura points to this jersey.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
9.5. Okay. Yeah, this one's a little controversial. Do you like this one?
Yeah, I like the one. I honestly, like you said, I think that the Warriors have done a very, very good job with their jersey rotation outside of that Rose one. I personally, I can't get behind that, but everything else is good.
What do you like about that one? I'm not a fan of that
I mean,
one
it just
at all.
looks kind of like classic.
This one?
Yeah, a little bit. Like
Classic.
Yeah.
a little bit.
I
Like
feel like it looks the opposite of classic.
that like navy blue and the red, it makes it feel a little bit like the old school Warriors jerseys. So that's why I can kind of get there with that.
Okay. Let's talk
Yeah.
about some more classic ones. How do you feel about the We Believe era jersey?
Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna get that one a 10.
This one's undeniable. This is a fan
Yeah.
favorite. Everyone loves this one. You almost got to wear it. They brought it back in 2020, so you were like 18 months too late from wearing it.
Easy 10. So many memories attached to that jersey too.
You remember?
Yeah.
Third grade?
Yeah, I remember vividly. Ask me about anything. I'll tell you what I ate that day.
You were watching Jason Richardson highlights back then?
Absolutely. In the lab every day.
Okay. How do you feel about the sleeve jerseys?
Nah.
Nah, you can't do it.
That kind of look like the compression shirt you wear under the jersey.
Yeah.
In this picture, they did him so wrong. This picture makes us even more awkward.
Yeah.
It's the yellow one. What are we giving this?
Get out of 5.
5. Okay.
Nah, we got to go lower. Those are easily the most like controversial jerseys in NBA history. Just the whole like sleeved era. And we have a friend. He gets so mad because LeBron like won a championship in the sleeve jersey, and it's like all these iconic NBA moments, and you're wearing sleeves on a basketball court.
But I ain't gonna hold you. When they was wearing them back when they had them, I liked them.
Really?
Yeah, I did. But now I don't like them. But it's trend. So
He grew up.
It was
You know
might have been a style back then.
Yeah, so honestly, you were about 13, 14 when this happened, I think.
Yeah.
You were supposed to like it. These were for 13, 14-year-olds. Nowadays, as an adult, you're like, nah. Okay, the yellow one obviously sucks. What about the black one, the Chinese New Year one? Is that any better?
I like the logo and I like the color and I like the design on it, minus the sleeves, and it's cool.
You can't look past the sleeves.
They need to bring it back. They need to bring it back for sure.
I'll give that one like a 4. It's better than the 1 that the other one is, but it's still
Yeah.
not great.
Yeah, I'm with that. That's one of the main sleeve jerseys that I like. I'll go like a 6.5 on that one.
Generous. I feel like if you have a sleeve,
I am
you're
being
like,
nice. I am being
your
nice.
cap is like a 4 or 5.
Yeah. I'm being nice.
I remember. So, outside of what we were talking about the past, let's talk about the present a little bit. How do you feel like this season is going? How do you feel about, the general, every season has ups and downs. And, fans, when the season started, you guys were hot. You were top 5 in offense, top 5 in defense, going crazy. And obviously there's downsides that come with the natural season. What's it like in the locker room when you have those ups and downs, but your expectations and the attention given to you by the media really makes those downs feel worse than they are? How do you guys kind of stay afloat and stay level-headed amongst all this? What's the message in the locker room?
Different teams kind of react differently. This team in particular has been good. Just with the energy and the way that it feels in the locker room, it's gonna be hard to get out of a rut. We won yesterday, so that was a good, hard-fought win. But just stacking wins together, so doing what it takes, make sure everybody locked in. But it's been cool.
I know Steve Curry had a comment in the media the other day where he was talking to the young guys in the team, I think is the verbiage he used, where he was talking about he's noticing a habit of playing outside the offense. He said something along the lines of, keep the ball moving, it'll come back to you, get the ball to Steph Curry, and yada, yada. And I know that wasn't necessarily directed at you, but you're one of the young guys, so you're going to take it with everybody else when he says that. How do you guys take that in as a core of young guys? Do you kind of just like hear it yourself individually? Do you guys ever talk about that? Is it addressed in the locker room?
We didn't talk about it when he said it. I don't really be watching the press conferences like that. But I mean, different people would take it different ways.
So throughout your entire NBA career, usually people get frustrated. It's natural through the ebbs and flows of just life in general. So particularly through this season for you, I guess my question is, what do you do whenever you're super frustrated after a bad shooting game or bad practice over whatever it is?
It's a good question. I kind of need to figure out a good way to deal with that type of stuff. Because I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm a resilient person, so when I a lot of times I can think my way out of stuff. Like, and then I know everything's gonna be better over time. Anything feels the worst right when it happened, and then ever since then it gets better and better. And then also thing a lot of times I think about is that like there's nothing in the past that you've went through that you like, man, I'm just as mad. I'm mad that I went through that. Like every time you go through something hard, it's always like, man, that's one of the best times. I learned the most from that time. So whenever you in one of those moments, you can think about that and be like, man, I'm gonna learn from this, and this moment is gonna feel a lot better in the future. So that's a cool thing to think about. And then another one is I read it in a book, the 4 Agreements. One of them was saying, try your best. It sounds cliche, simple concept, but if you went out there and you did exactly as hard as you can, you tried what you can, you did it, you took the shots, you was aggressive when you should have. If it didn't play out, it just didn't play out. You can't be mad at yourself for that. So at that, I can be cool with myself and the fact that I did it. I took the shot. I missed it. I took it though. Yeah. And it's comfort to come in that.
How is it, like you talked about the energy of this team, what's kind of the difference between the energy on this team versus teams in the past? And because at the same time, like it's a new year, but you also have new guys. It's kind of trade season. People are coming in, going out. How is the energy right now in the locker room, and how is it different than, maybe last year, 2 years ago?
Yeah, it would have to be, each year is so different. It's a new group of guys, new energy, different journey, different season. But honestly, even every year around this time during the year, like New Year's time, you got to fact check me to be, but every year it seems like we kind of go in a drought around this time. And then it's like until All-Star, trades and all that's happening, and it's kind of similar.
How do y'all react to like hearing trade rumors and like just seeing other people in the outside world talk about it? How does your mental like go ahead and digest that?
Yeah, well, I can only speak for myself. I don't know about everybody, but me like, it's no point in being wound up about something that guy to put up on Twitter, saying like, oh, this would be a good trade, whatever that is. I don't even really get on there and look at the stuff, honestly, but it's so many different things that could happen, that can't happen, so many possibilities. What's the point of being tripping about something that ain't happened yet? Yeah. If it happened, then it do. If it don't, then it didn't.
That's fair.
and not being on social media, is that something that you did whenever you when you got into the league, or have you just really like throughout your life not really been big on like even just like scrolling and not posting, just not being on social media?
Nah, I was on there a lot, especially as a kid, and then even my first couple years in the league. I never really got on Twitter, but Instagram, I would always be on Instagram. But I don't even not get on there because of basketball. I just realized that I'd be spending so much time scrolling on my phone, and 2 hours went by and I ain't do nothing. And like, I just like to be more present, conversations and being productive, because it's a productive time in your lifetime. So you can be picking up on some stuff, picking up on game to get you somewhere. So it's time to do it rather than wasting time.
A big conversation right now out there on the internet that you may have heard, may have not heard, is that a lot of people are just complaining about the product of basketball, blah, blah, can't shoot too many threes. If you were commissioner for a day, what would be something that you would change or adjust in the NBA?
It's so much stuff to where, like, I don't want to get in and do their job because, you change something and then something else happened that you don't like, and then everybody will be talking about that and you shouldn't have made the change. And out of respect for what they do and how hard their job is, then I wouldn't even want to impose on it. But I would say that it is like, nobody want to watch everybody come down and shoot threes every possession. If you watching a good game in high school, you seeing dudes get in their bag, step back, pulling up a mid-range, and it's not as productive of basketball, but it's fun to watch and it's fun to play that way. So I don't know what they'll do about it.
Yeah, it's such a big topic that like so much of it is just based on like fans' emotions, and the type of like changes they want to see don't really make sense for the reasons you said, because it creates a new issue. But there's some validity to it, I guess. Like you said, some people, if they find it boring, they find it boring. But there is still so much stylistic difference. Like the way you guys play is nothing how the Lakers play. It's nothing how the Kings play, how the Thunder play, etc. So Do you feel like people still kind of underrate the amount of different styles there is in the game today?
I mean, I think there is a lot of similarities to the
True,
way
okay.
that all those teams play. But everybody has their own superstar, and that's who plays different, and everybody else kind of plays around them. But if you think about any position, anybody that's a superstar, everybody just says, "Oh, we need to put shooters around that guy."
Yeah.
Like no matter what they do, and that's the best way to win games. And if you're looking at analytics and looking at it on paper and numbers and all of that, then you're gonna say, "Okay, well, this is the best way to play basketball."
Yeah.
But if you're actually out there hooping and thinking about the art of the game and thinking about it that way, then you'll probably have a more fun way to play and more fun way to watch.
Yeah.
So
Is
I
that
don't know what to do about
is that
it.
a conversation that happens a lot in this building, and then even with the people that around the league, happening on teams around the league, just people coming to their players and saying, okay, like you got to play this way, you got to play that way, and then you come back and you talk to your people and it's like, hey, we're all getting told the same thing.
I mean, everybody enjoys winning. So if you trying to tell somebody how to enjoy basketball, trying to make the game fun, well, winning is fun. So if you got to play this way to win, then you'll have fun when you win.
Yeah.
Maybe not when but I don't know what to really say about the strategies and all of that. Like,
Speaking of fun, just a random question. What is the most, what's your favorite moment that you've had personally on an NBA court? What's your favorite play?
it's got to be winning the championship, but to have a better answer, I'll say
Besides the championship.
Hit
someone with a nasty cross.
I crossed LeBron and then step back and hit a shot in the playoffs. I love LeBron coming up. I'm with Clutch, so that's just the guy that I look up to on the basketball court. So being that, because he got drafted in 2003. I was born in 2002.
Damn.
So I've been watching him my whole life. So just be able to be out on the court and you get a move like that in the playoffs was cool. And it was my second year. So second year.
Do you have that picture hung up in your place?
I got the picture blown up. I ain't got it.
He's ready to get framed.
Gotcha.
I know you shot that. You were like, so glad I didn't miss. The worst thing ever is when someone gets the cleanest cross, bricks the shot. Were you immediately like, thank God?
Yeah, I mean, I felt good when it left my hand.
Yeah.
So,
You knew it was going in?
Yeah.
So you mentioned you grew up, LeBron's your favorite player?
Nah. Growing up, Joe Johnson was my favorite player.
Joe Johnson. That's a
It's a Little Rock connection right there.
Yeah, I love when people have unique players. Everybody likes LeBron. Everybody likes Kobe, all this stuff. What about Joe Johnson's game really drew you towards him?
He from Little Rock. That was the biggest part of it as a kid. But then ISO Joe.
Yeah.
And my cousin, then he played in Atlanta. My cousin moved to Atlanta. So, and then he would come back and do stuff. He put on like a 3-on-3 tournament in the neighborhood. Yeah. And me and my brother, we won the whole tournament. We was that, and he was 2 years older than me, so we usually couldn't play together. But it was like he put goals in a parking lot. Big old parking lot with a whole bunch of basketball goals, and then like everybody age group, you out there playing 3-on-3, and you got to win to get to the big court where he was playing at. And,
that's dope.
Yeah, so that was cool. But it's ISO Joe, so he got a fun game to watch.
Yeah. So who would be like your all-time starting five of your favorite players growing up? If you put Joe Johnson there, put him at the 3, who else is around him of players that you really grew up really idolizing?
Like as a kid, I liked the NBA. I like watching the NBA. I liked the Celtics with Ray Allen and all them, and that was my team.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I was watching like the high school kids in my city. Like them was the ones, them was the professionals to me. So I'm watching Quan, Day, Khalil, my brother. Like, I know y'all might not know these names and all that, but these was the dudes when I was coming up. So my starting five would have to probably be with a lot of them.
Do you feel like Arkansas's basketball culture is kind of underrated? Because like all the guys that you named, and even throughout history, like Scottie Pippen's from Arkansas as well, like there is low-key like a lineage of really good basketball players from Arkansas.
Yeah, it is. And it's like a lot of guys, they make it through whatever situation they from, wherever. Because like Malik from La Pinta, Arkansas, Austin Reeves, I don't even know. I didn't know Austin Reeves till he was at Oklahoma. Yeah. But like I ain't never heard of La Pinta, Arkansas other than Malik. So like these guys make it from whatever situations they from, and that's a cool thing in itself. But it is a lot of talent at Arkansas.
What's a future project or a dream project that you want to do for your community? Maybe not now, but like 10, 15 years from now or whatever.
I really want to make a difference. Like, it ain't as much as like I want to put on these big old events. They get all of this publicity, and it's cool that I did it. Like, I would really rather get like a group of kids, like 4 to 5 kids that like we really got a connection that I'm talking to. We dealing with working out specific problems and making a difference. So then they can do that for other kids and all of that, and kind of like make an infrastructure rather than like a big event.
Gotcha.
That's dope.
But then I want everybody to have fun too. So, you know, Clay came to Little Rock. That was crazy. The summit, like I just said that I did, that was cool and impactful. The camps are always fun. I brought Rich came down and did a talk for a lot of people, so that was cool.
Cool. Before we're almost done here. Before we end it, is there one thing that you want to say that you're really focusing on the rest of the season? Is there anything that you really like have in top mind, something you want to improve on, get better at as an individual? What's your main mindset going into 2025?
Right now, we need to figure out ways to win. So, however I can be beneficial to that, figuring out my game, figuring out what different teams I call for different things. So, just figuring out what my team needs.
Perfect, man. Well, we appreciate you coming through. It was a great time talking to you. Hope you have a good rest of your week, man.
Yep.
Welcome back to the regular T3 content post-interview. What was your favorite part of the interview? Now that everyone else is done watching it, we can talk about it a little bit. What was your favorite moments?
It was clearly the fact that he was not trying to snitch on Draymond for teaching him about illegal screens.
Oh, yeah.
Because you asked him that question, and he was like, I mean, you know. Like, we got you.
Yeah. I would love to hear Draymond talk about all the small stuff he can do when he's done retired. When he's already retired, done playing, and he can finally spill the beans a little bit. I would love to hear more about that.
I don't even know if he'll get to that point, though. He's so passionate on gems and jewels.
I want a cut up of Draymond Green, like, you know, in the Last Dance when Dennis Rodman was talking about rebounds and he was like, click, go there, click, go here, click, go there. I want that, but for Draymond Green, just being like hip here, hip there, throw here, punch here, like all that stuff. Like,
It was also It was also lovely to hear about the wrestling sessions with Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, and Andrew Nemhard.
He said they lined up mattresses everywhere, and Cade would be slamming people.
Remember that clip of Cade Cunningham? You ever seen that clip of back when they're in AAU of Cade messing with Jalen Green? He hit a bucket and he was running back, and Jalen Green was on the sidelines like waiting for his game, and Cade like flicked his nose, and Jalen Green hated it.
Yeah,
they were like. I'm sure they're
Cade was a fucking bully, bro, growing up. Absolutely. He used to give motherfucking swirlies. Just straight head in the toilet.
As soon as I heard that story, I can just tell Cade was that like just always trolly, immature kid that's always just messing with his friends. Like I totally imagined. I grew up with plenty of Cade Cunninghams, and it's always the ones who are like 6 inches taller than everybody else.
Exactly.
It made sense.
So, like, you just know, that guy. You just like, you're not going to beat him up. He's 6'5", whatever. You know, like you can't do anything. They just get away with anything.
Yeah, it seems like he must have been a hilarious teenager. Yeah, man. On to the next segment of this episode. I want to talk about vibes today. And I know we do that a lot, but I want to talk about vibes around certain teams, certain players, because we're at the point of the season where, you know, the first 25, 30 games happened. We gained our initial view of players, an initial view of teams, how their season's going. And now we're kind of entering that lull this season where some teams are getting hurt, some teams are falling off, some teams are rising up. So I want to do a general vibe check across the league of some of the teams that are very interesting right now. And I kind of want you guys to tell me how you're feeling about them. Not necessarily their on-court product entirely, because like I said, some teams are just injured or some teams have, you know, however the past couple weeks are going. But what are the vibes like? What kind of momentum are they carrying to 2025?
Yeah, okay. I'm there's a couple teams I've had my eye on, and I'm sure we're gonna talk about them today. And so I think vibe check is perfect because like it's not necessarily like a power rankings, and you still like we're like 6 weeks out from All-Star weekend, and that's kind of where like the final push is. So I know where I feel about some of the teams. I'm very curious to see where you guys land on some of them.
Okay, let's talk about the first team that I've been dying to talk about because we had certain thoughts about them early in the season and things are not going super well right now. What is the vibe check right now, 1 through 10, for the Phoenix Suns?
Goddamn 0, bro. Not going to lie to you. This team.
The vibes are distraught.
Absolutely in the mud. When I watch this team, I feel like I'm watching a lottery team. I'm watching a smushed together, rust package unfinished products. It's just a disgusting way to format a basketball team. It's just they don't have no chemistry. Guys are consistently going in and out. Devin Booker the entirety of the year hasn't been his normal self and hasn't like sustained a certain level of stardom. Defense, he's fucking ass as well this year for whatever reason. During the summer, everyone was like, "Oh my god, bro, Devin Booker, he's the perfect co-star." Blah blah blah. His defense, on-ball defense is amazing. Off-ball defense is amazing, and he's just like.
Nobody said his defense is amazing. We relax. It wasn't
Well,
amazing.
during the Olympics, people were just OD lazy.
It was good. It was good.
And so
he had a good Olympics. You're right.
Yeah, and so like seeing that just not carry on in the slightest, I think a lot of issues reside in him. Because if he's the normal, consistent Devin Booker giving you like 27, 28 a game, cool. But you're asking a 37-year-old Kevin Durant to be the best player on your team, the best defender on your team, the second, third best like facilitator on your team. Yusuf Nurkic is there. You have a backcourt that relies on defensive Tyus Jones and also Devin Booker. Your defense is meant to be cooked, bro. This team is ass overall.
Yeah. It's frustrating to me because, all summer I was very high on the Memphis Grizzlies. Ever since the draft, I was talking about, like, watch out, the Grizzlies are going to be that team next year. Last second during the preseason when we did our power rankings, I put them below the Suns because I bought in on the Mike Budenholzer hype that he would implement enough changes that would make enough of a difference that this team would kind of live up to the talent level that we all thought we'd see whenever they added these, 3 star players together. And you mentioned up top of your statement that they haven't been able to stay on the court. That's the biggest thing. They've had very few minutes with their 3 stars together. They keep taking turns getting injured. The sad part is that's just who they are. Bradley Beal gets hurt a lot. Kevin Durant for sure gets hurt a lot. So at this point, that's baked in. And part of my thinking of why I thought they'd have a really good regular season is because with these 3 guys, they can, and now with Tyus Jones and Monte Morris here, who aren't amazing, but they're competent guards. With all these guys, I figured they could sustain injuries and they wouldn't need all 3 guys to be able to take care of business on a regular season perspective. That was wrong. They have not been good without their 3 guys together. And even when they do have their 3 guys together, they've played less than 150 minutes together, but they're losing those minutes. They have a minus 2.7 net rating with their 3 players all on the court together at once. So even that hasn't been pretty. I kind of just feel like Mike Budenholzer, the 3-point volume is high. It's top 10 in the league. They have a top 10 offense. He's not a wizard. He can't fix his defense, man. End of the day, they still are who they were last year.
There's a couple things that y'all said. One, I think for Mo saying that like it looks like an unfinished product, that's probably the best way that I could describe the Suns because it just because everybody's always going in and out. You always feel like they are 2 pieces away, right?
Yeah.
You always watch them and you're like, okay, you probably need another scorer and you need another playmaker, need some more creation, and then. Just because, Nurkic be out there, you're like, and then you need some, an actual rim defender. You need somebody who could defend the rim, guard the paint, do all that stuff. And then we've seen it in Los Angeles and something that, I'm not sure what to call it yet. I am workshopping it, but you see the theory of new coaches can come in and at the beginning of the year they can kind of catch people by surprise with all of their changes. And the vibes are very high. Everybody's very optimistic at the beginning of the year. You get to January, everybody has seen you play for 20, 25 games now. There's tape on it. And so now you're kind of capped out. So I don't know what type of attribute boost or what I want to call it at the beginning of the season. But that is exactly what happened with the Phoenix Suns. And Isaac, like you mentioned, the lineups, and you mentioned the fact that, they're never on the court together. Right now, the Suns or the number 1 lineup in the league is obviously the Knicks starting lineup of Hart, Bridges, right?
Shout out to Tibbs. That's his work.
Exactly. According to Cleaning the Glass, they've played over 1,100 possessions. Now, the second team, which is a normal NBA team who doesn't run their players into the ground during the regular season, they have 800. About 800 lineups played. The Suns, that starting lineup of Tyus Jones, Big 3, and Nurkic, they've played 230. It's not good. It's so few minutes that I don't know what to think about this team and in a playoff context. Mm-hmm. And right now, I think my vibes for them, and even as somebody who had them really high in our first power rankings, it's probably about a 2 out of 10. I don't feel good about that.
It's a good point with the coaching changes. You said you don't know how to workshop that, what to call it. I think it's just reality. Like, you have a new coach,
fair,
you make changes, and you have priorities as a team. They clearly were emphasizing certain things. Getting the 3-point volume being up is chief among them, right? They knew they can't be this super mid-range heavy team to the same extent they have been in the past years. You come into the year, you focus on that, and that's worked. But as time goes on, these players are who they are, and you can have these coaching objectives, and you can try as hard as you can to do bud stuff. When you have such a big sample size, you see the talent is the talent, and at the end of the day, they still are just way too small. They still are not good on the boards. Nurkic is still a shell of what he was in the past. They still play a 6'5" small forward and Bradley Beal. You're never going to have good rotations under the rim with help side defense when your only good defender in your starting lineup is Kevin fucking Durant, who is a good defender, shouldn't be your goddamn perimeter stopper, plus your best weak side shot blocker. The talent is a talent, and eventually those things wear off. And like you said, rival coaches make adjustments, and they know how to make your weaknesses come out.
Yeah,
Man,
110% agree.
tough.
It's so interesting looking at this team when you break it down through the stats. Like, they defend the rim pretty well. They're not like terrible at it. They're not the greatest at it, but it's like it's not a pinpoint weakness necessarily when it comes to like their 3-point statistics and what they allow their opponents to do. And generally, they defend the 3-point line pretty well. Like what Mike Budenholzer is doing, the game plan is there. I just don't think he has the players, like you guys alluded to execute it whatsoever.
Exactly.
Now, when it
They
comes
lose a possession battle every game. Their offensive rebounding is abysmal, and they just do all the small stuff that they can't put it together. So even if they do have all these systems in place, it doesn't matter if your talent level isn't quite there.
Yeah, exactly. That's why some of their stats, I don't want to say is like misleading. I think they legitimately have the game plan, but they don't have the necessary things to execute it.
It's tough, man. And vibes-wise, like, yeah, the team isn't good right now. We know that. But, it's a long season. They could get better. It's just tough because the vibes are... Anytime the Suns struggle, the vibes are going to be in the tank. Because when they struggle, it looks really ugly. Because their big suck. Their size sucks. These things around their star players suck. So their losses look really horrible. Their wins look fine because, they win with this talent. They have the shot making and whatnot. But you get reinforced to remember how terrible this roster is around their best players when they lose. So it makes Suns fans go through like an existential crisis because they remember where they were a few years ago. So any small tumble down the standings, it's like, fuck, man, we used to have Mikal Bridges, Chris Paul, Cam Johnson, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. It was so nice. 2021 was so blissful. How did we get here?
And it looks bad. And it looks bad whenever your stars suck too. Like Book came back last night after missing 5 games. He was 4 of 20. And so that's also been a theme. So I guess so for you guys, so right now, I'm looking at the standings right now. Phoenix is 15-17. They're a game behind the Warriors for the 10th spot in the play-in. Right now, if you guys had to bet if they would make the play-in or not, what are you saying?
Yeah, they're gonna make it. It's a long season. They're gonna make the play-in.
Yeah.
The
The 4 teams above them. You got the Lakers at 7, Minnesota at 8, San Antonio at 9, Warriors at 10. Who drops out if they're gonna?
I would hope they can pass the Warriors and Spurs, barring changes.
They should.
I would hope. Because again, but then again, the biggest issue has been health, and we can't assume this team's gonna get healthy. Beal got hurt again in this last game when they lost to the goddamn Memphis Grizzlies, who were missing 9 players. So that's probably gonna keep happening.
In that game didn't have Marcus Smart, John Morant, Santi Aldama, Zach Edey wasn't playing. It was a Jaren Jackson led team without any of his offensive weapons outside of Desmond Bane.
They lost
terrible.
so many games like that. They lost the game that Nurkic got suspended from when he got in the fight with Najee. Luka got hurt in that game too. Luka was out already. So it's those kinds of games, especially in the Western Conference where everybody is like a game and a half, 2 games, whatever, behind each other. You have to get those games at home to stay competitive, to stay afloat. And they're not getting the ones that they should get right now, which is the one that's probably one of the more concerning things about them.
And even if I do think they'll make the play-in, I think I wouldn't be shocked if they get to 6. It's so close together. We know this team has a gear. Like, if you told me over the next 2 months, they've righted the ship and ended up being the 6 or 7 seed, I wouldn't be perplexed. I'm not saying this team is cooked, but vibes-wise, you just can't have good vibes when you know that this team is the team. Most teams that are struggling can look to the trade market and say, we can mix some shit up, we can do this, we can do that. They are who they are. They are in the second apron. They have no cap space, no control of their picks until 2031. Their best player is old. They are locked into what they have in every single way imaginable. And their young star is having the worst year of his prime for reasons that you can't write off to injury. You can't write off to so-and-so. He's just not making shots. That's not encouraging.
It's a down year. Yeah.
There's not a lot of hope to latch onto. And for that, their vibes are in the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
All
the
right,
worst
2 out of 10 for me.
efficiency. This is the worst. This is the third worst efficient year that Devin Booker's had of his, I guess, pushing 10-year career.
And it's the worst since he's become a star.
Yeah, exactly. And to see that, like you said, they don't have any like flexibility whatsoever when it comes to the roster construction and how their payroll breaks out to be. We're witnessing the Bradley Beal trade. Not to say that like he's a pinpoint issue, because I think he's generally like led up to expectation, even surpassed him when it comes to certain things. Feels like he's definitely performed better than Devin Booker when it comes to fulfilling his role as well. But in terms of like, what can we do to fix this team? What can we do to help, make our team more versatile and break more pieces loose? He's the guy. But you can't do that because his contract is literally like locking you, putting you in a headlock.
Yeah, it's not Bradley Beal's fault per se, but it's acquiring him was the issue. It's like the Russell Westbrook thing where, listen, he didn't trade for himself. He didn't pick to go there. Mm-hmm. The team traded for him, and it was the wrong move in every imaginable way because of all the fit and how it has a cascading effect down the roster. The Bradley Beal trade was a mistake. I've seen some people on Twitter kind of like looking back on all these moves they made and saying, was the KD trade a mistake too? I'm not going that far because when KD wants to come, you fucking get KD. But the real thing is, why did they trade DeAndre Ayton for Yusuf Nurkic? I hate it in the moment, and I know him and Monty Williams butted heads, so people kind of rationalized it because Ayton's PRs was in the toilet. That was so fucking stupid. I cannot lie. Making yourself that old and going down the Yusuf Nurkic well was so fucking stupid. Giving up on a young talent despite the issues he had with the coach, it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
But that was interesting too, because they had gotten rid of, they made double changes. Like they got rid of Monty and they got rid of Ayton. And if you had asked me before everything went down, I was like, okay, you make your choice. You either pick Monty or you pick Ayton. And obviously it's always easier to pick.
Now both of you fuck off.
Yeah, it's always easier to pick the coach. And so I think whenever it happened, I was like, yo, that's really, really weird that you would still send DeAndre Ayton, which to me at that time with the way that their roster was constructed, I was like, oh, they really don't like DeAndre Ayton in the locker room. Like he has to be that much of a negative presence if you've already made these changes and they still sent him out of there. It honestly felt like that the whole way. When they re-signed him, they didn't want to re-sign him. Like they waited the maximum amount of time that they could to give him the extension. They waited until Indiana gave him the offer sheet, and then they were like, okay, now we will match. But for a guy that they drafted #1 overall, for the last 2 years of his tenure there, they never seemed super committed to it. So that whole run, that's why I'm with you, Isaac. I never think that KD move was a mistake, because it did seem you could see kind of the holes in what they were doing and kind of where their ceiling was, and especially if DeAndre Ayton wasn't happy and you are paying him $30-something million, it never seemed like it was going to fully work out in terms of getting back to the finals, getting a chip, doing all that stuff. So it's been a weird 5 years for them, and I don't know where they go from here.
I'm still holding out hope this season turns around, but it's not a bright future at all. We'll say that.
Facts.
Sad stuff.
Let's flip gears though. Too much negativity. What are the vibes right now for the Cleveland Cavaliers? An NBA best 29-4, 87% win percentage, one of the top 3 win percentages in NBA history thus far into the season.
It's about an 8 out of 10.
Are all-time high. I'll give it 10 out of 10. I mean,
10 out of 10. How could it be anything less than a 10 out of 10?
Yeah, you see guys like Evan Mobley, who's probably gonna get his first All-Star berth happening next month. Darius Garland's having a bounce back season. He hasn't had any knick-knack injuries. He's averaging 20-6, 20-7. Donovan Mitchell having a slight down year, but in terms of shooting the fuck out of that ball, he's doing that. And then all the other guys all around, whether it be Ty Jerome, Sam Merrill, Isaac Okoro, they're just slowly and surely developing and improving. And Max Strus is finally back too.
The vibes are at 10. It's time. too much of this season has been, oh, shout out the Cavs having a great start, yada yada. I don't know what it means, but good regular season, cute story. Glad they didn't fall apart, yada yada. It's time to really take them seriously as you can put them as the title favorites. I understand the Celtics are the Celtics, and if you want to say that you still are going to pick the defending champs in a playoff series to do what they did to the Cavs in that regular season meeting a few weeks ago, I understand. This Cavs team is a juggernaut. And I get it. The NBA brain is like, I got a seed in the playoffs. Show me first. I understand how that works. It doesn't surprise me. I'm not saying you have to pick them as your number one favorite. Everything evidence-wise that's not based on that type of emotion, that emotion is understandable. Everything evidence-wise on the court suggests that the Cavs are the best team in basketball and are fully capable of translating this to the playoffs. Nothing about it is unsustainable. They are an incredibly well-oiled machine on both sides of the court and fixed every single issue we've had with them in the past few years. There's no reason not to give them respect as arguably title favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's where I disagree. Title favorite is a bit far from me.
Dude, 29-4 is crazy. Dude, that's so impossible to do. Like, this is not just a hot start anymore. This is irregular.
Well, okay, so like I understand the hot start, but title favorite is still a bit far because
I get it.
Because like I would still have Boston. Like if we're just going off, I would still have Boston as the title favorite. If we are assuming that Chet is going to be healthy, I would still have Oklahoma City above Cleveland, and then I could put Cleveland there. I think right now for them, in the argument for them is, can they push into that like tier one, but not like the favorite. And so like I think like inside the building, vibes are obviously 10 out of 10. For me, it's probably about 8.5 out of 10, just because I still think that Boston is just like they are for a lot of teams. I think that they are perfectly set up to go in and demolish what Cleveland has built this year.
Yeah, and again, I get it. I'm not saying I fully respect Boston. I'm as high on Boston as anybody right now.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd pick them when it comes down to it, but they need to be viewed 1A, 1B. Like they have a real chance. It's not like you can't write off and be like, yeah, but they can't be Boston, so it's whatever. They have a real chance. Yeah. This team is the best in the league, just as good as Boston at creating threes. They have two insanely skilled ball handlers that have finally connected with each other. They're both fantastic on and off ball. Kenny Atkinson has put in a lot of really, really effective plays where they get them both moving off screens to make each other better when the other one has a ball. That's been the biggest difference this year between the guards. Evan Mobley's made a pretty real shooting leap. He's not shooting a lot, but he's shooting 40% from three on very small volume. And that's something.
That's important, bro.
It's a real shooting leap.
No, that's big.
Yeah.
That's big.
Dude,
and I think that's why I'm like, I feel confident putting them into that tier one where I'm like, yes. The phrase that we always use is like, they can look the Celtics in the eye in a playoff series, right? And I feel confident saying that. However, if we were to play out, 7-game series 10 times, I think Boston wins 7 times out of 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's why I feel about the Cavs.
And also, the Cavs' wings are so good. Dean Wade is so good and so important in what they do. His size defensively next to those two giant bigs is so helpful. Great shooter. Obviously, they have Isaac Okoro. Karis LeVert looks great in this system.
Yeah.
They don't have any flaws right now. Their offense is a machine. And obviously, they have those two bigs that hold you down defensively. They are incredible.
And what's so insane about this team is that their offense is a consistent machine. Like usually with all the elite teams you can think of, it's like, okay, damn, Nikola Jokic is off the court. Holy fuck, this team looks completely different, and their identity is just like absolutely in shambles. This Cavs team specifically, because of how they're set up by having double big walls, having like double not super ball dominant guards, but you know what I mean, double guards who just hold a lot of responsibility and carry an offense. You just allow the team to have no breaks in the second that these secondary third string players have to come in and have to hoop for 10, 15 minutes. Their mind is boggled, bro. Like you get no breaks whatsoever. This team, to me, I remember when this Donovan Mitchell trade first happened, Isaac, you were like all in on them. And I said you were wrong at that point in time, which if your perspective, you want to be like, yeah, you were wrong at that time. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and say you were not wrong. You were just 2 years early. That's all it was. And
per usual,
we've witnessed guys like Evan Mobley go ahead and evolve into like an actual top 3 pick that we like know that he can be by extending his 3-point range, being that dude defensively, but offense, seeing him like push the ball here and there and not being timid and actually realizing, holy shit, like I'm 6'11", I got a little handle, I could shoot a little bit too, and I'm actually gonna put the ball in, like down your throat and stuff it in your face. He's been so aggressive.
Big throat stuffer.
Yeah, exactly. He's been so aggressive, and I think what Kenny Atkinson has been doing to him and how he's been empowering him has like changed the entire look of this Cavs offense. The defense is obviously ridiculous too.
Kenny Atkinson's rotations are perfect, honestly. He's been deploying his talent so perfectly. You mentioned 2 years ago when they first made that trade, I was high on them because I said, I can't imagine the team having this duo of talented ball handlers plus this duo of talented bigs. That is such a rare combination that you can deploy in such versatile, crazy ways together and separate. It didn't quite come together because the offensive issues that came with the bigs not being able to shoot. Evan Mobley wasn't ready yet.
And then on top of that too, they didn't have the
Kenny
guys to
Atkinson,
fill in the guards, the guys to fill in the gaps, and now they have that.
But also, Kenny Atkinson is deploying them in such smart ways with how he staggers it, where, you know, we talked early in the season how it's like 48 minutes you have an elite rim protector out there, and that's just a crazy weapon to have with those two bigs. But he's kind of discovered that pairing Garland and Jared Allen together for bench minutes is perfect. You can let Garland use that roll man and kind of get into that 2022 bag he had before Donovan Mitchell, where his playmaking is just ridiculous. And that really lets Garland do his thing with Donovan Mitchell off the court. And then vice versa, you pair D-Mitch and Mobley together, they have a great two-man game because they don't necessarily need to operate in that traditional pick and roll sense. They're both really good at playing off each other in a more free-flowing way. It's just crazy dynamic, different looks that it's kind of like what we talked about with OKC, that with those two bigs, they have versatile approaches that if your team is really good at defending them with just Chet on the floor, bet. We'll go Hardenstein and Chet. If that doesn't work, we'll go just Hardenstein for some minutes. Like, you can go different looks based on what opponents' strengths are. The Cavs have that same exact thing.
Yes, I love that too, because I think, and like obviously I've been I guess like out of us three right now, I am the most negative, but I think like that's the key for them and the major advantage. And I think the way that you can get not only all the other teams in the league, but also Boston, is that you can like when Boston turns it up and they start making threes, it feels like an avalanche. And like, you know, you can just be playing the game and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 they hit 4 threes in a row and you look up and you're like, oh my God, we're down 13. Like it was just a 1-point game. Like what happened? The fact that having consistent pressure, there are not a lot of teams that can handle 48 minutes of like elite basketball. And that's the biggest thing, to where if they made it to the conference finals, like I think that their ceiling right now, and we'll see how much that they take off, take their foot off the gas as we get further into the season. But like, are they going to win, 65 games? Like,
yes,
like what, like how many wins into the 60s? Because 60 should be very, very reasonable. Like I think I find it very hard to believe that this team is going to lose. What would that be? 17 more games for the rest of the year.
How many more times did they see the Atlanta Hawks?
I guess two. If they can split with the Hawks, they can get to, they can get to 67 wins. Like that's the question, is like, how high on the like all-time regular season list can you get? They have a real chance of doing that.
Yeah, if you told me they hit 70 at this rate, I'm like, well, shit, that's crazy. Hope they can do it in the playoffs, but that doesn't surprise me. And I think if Boston's at their best, I'll pick Boston. If they're fully healthy, fully clicking, nobody's in a slump, I'll go Boston. But Boston better be at their goddamn best. This is a real threat that they didn't have to deal with last year.
Yeah, exactly. Like last year, of course, we saw them go through injuries. Jared Allen wasn't there, but it was clear as day, outside of the Dallas Mavericks, obviously, although the series was pretty much a gentleman's sweep, the Boston Celtics had a tough time dealing with Evan Mobley empowered at center once that Jared Allen injury happened. Now, of course, like Darius Garland struggled the most, and I think he was like a huge like, he still got like a sore thumb when it comes to why they lost. But if he's able to, if the pressure around him is able to like be and the game is opened up by guys like Karis LeVert and the Dean Wades and all the other guys, obviously Donovan Mitchell too, I think he's a real X factor in my mind when you think about that Boston matchup and how well he's able to sustain himself in front of these big wings.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But vibes are at an all-time high for the Cavs. This is the best vibe since the 2016 season at this rate. This is an amazing season for them.
Shout out to them.
Literally, bro. Shout out to Cleveland.
Next vibe check. What is your current feeling on the vibes of the MVP race, MVP discourse online? How are you feeling that it's going? Does it feel civil? Does it feel like it's good compared to previous years?
Obviously not. It's not civil. I honestly can't remember the last time that we had a civil MVP discourse throughout.
It's impossible.
Throughout the year. It's not like people latch on to the MVP discourse always goes like this. Somebody has a crazy 20 games. You find your guy in 20 games, and that is the only spot that you have to jump off the bandwagon for whoever you thought was going to win it in the preseason. 20 games happens. We play 4 months of basketball that nobody cares about, and then the last 20 games happen. People have massive pushes, and then you end up judging people off of whatever narratives form in the middle, and then 2 pushes at the front in the end. And that's normally how it goes. So it's never once we get to March. So a lot of times it doesn't feel indicative of what has happened throughout the entire season. You're not actually looking at a full body of work, a full 70 games of basketball, and so right now, honestly, it just sounds like a whole bunch of noise whenever we talk about the MVP discourse.
I think it's not too bad right now. Shea has real momentum, and it's so funny because there's just a weird contingency online that I've grown to hate Shea because there's been a successful psyop of haters convincing people that Shea is a foul merchant and not fun to watch, which is so insane because he's nowhere close to the biggest foul merchant or the highest free throw rates in the NBA, but he's become the face of it for some people, I guess, because the vacuum that's been left with James Harden not being in his prime, people just need a guard to hate, and it's become Shea. He is having such an ethical season that early in the year it was he's doing it in such the right way. His team is really good, but offensively he's the reason they're good. They have a top 10 offense despite having no Chet and not having their stretch 5 that really brings everything together. And outside of J-Dub, who at this rate after adding all this weight is not the greatest on-ball creator, they don't have any fucking creation on this roster. It's a bunch of defensive goons. Hardenstein, who shout out him, is passing, who's done wonders for them. They're fucking 16-1 since adding him into the lineup.
My boy.
Shea makes his offensive go. Austin makes his offensive system go to such a rate that you combine that with his individual production. He's once again doing his normal 30-point per game stuff, having big performances, carrying the team that's missing their second best player, which matters. He has a real MVP case, and unless Jokic gets a top 3 seed, I think there's a good chance Shea's going to get it.
Yeah, I 110% agree, bro. What we've been seeing with Shea, OKC in general is such a talented team, but they have actual flaws offensively. We all know their 3-point shot throughout the entirety of the season hasn't been the best. They're not nearly as efficient compared to last year, especially too. Obviously due to injuries. Some guys like Isaiah Joe haven't been having the greatest 3-point shooting season. But through all that, one thing that continues to persevere is the generational bucket getter that Shea is. In my mind, the reason why I look at him as a top tier, S tier NBA player in terms of just who would I rather have. I think we had this conversation during the top 30 player rankings or whatever. I think me and Donovan lean towards Shea and you lean towards Tatum because of his all-around game, which is understandable. I just saw what Shea is in terms of his ability to get buckets at an insane rate, and this pace is just sets everything up so beautifully. If he isn't this S tier generational type of Michael damn near Jordan type of basketball god when it comes to putting the ball in the basket with his efficiency, I don't think this OKC team would be as unfuckwittable, but they are.
Yeah, well, yeah, the offense is built around his skill set to do that. So that's why, if he was in Boston, it wouldn't be quite as necessary. It wouldn't feel as essential because their team wouldn't be built that way. But you're right, and that's why I think is a real MVP case, because it's like the Nuggets where everything only works because of Jokic offensively. They're similar here. The offense only works when you have this downhill demon that can be the real driver of open shots for others. They don't have they fully bought in on defensive talent and off-ball catch and shoot talent around him, guys like Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe, Wiggins. They're going to stand there with their hands up. They're going to cut, but they're not going to be doing things with the ball in their hands like that. They'll do their screen setting stuff. They'll be competent, but it only works to a high level if Shea is the engine. And that is a real MVP case because without him, they would be nowhere close to a top 10 offense.
Yeah, I think having the 1 seed, there's certain levels of basketball watchers that all have different criteria for the MVP. Having the number 1 seed satisfies a large percentage of a certain population, and then you have the like kind of middle guys who are just like, hey, like who's out here like getting buckets at a high level, stuff like that. And for Shea, it's honestly very funny to me that a lot of people are starting to like turn on him. One part of it is that like one, it happens to everybody, but the other part is like everything that everybody says is like quote unquote wrong with the NBA. Shea doesn't do. Like Shea,
I know.
Like Shea's taking 21 shots a game. He does not take a majority or even like close to half of them from 3. Like he gets his buckets in the paint.
Yeah.
He takes tough middies. He goes into the mid range, gets into his bag. Like all of that stuff. He's a two-way player, right? 36 and 5, whatever. Like he does everything on a nightly basis. He's so consistent. Rarely has like an off game. And so it's very funny seeing people do the heel turn on him. But like having that level of efficiency on the top team and being a legitimate being a good defender, right? Is like that
But he's
matters.
like point guard Kawhi Leonard in my mind with how
calm
unstoppable
down.
his mid-range game is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Offensively, in terms of like how unstoppable his mid-range game is and not being known as like
I know.
a
I
great facilitator.
thought you were going with defense too. I was like, oh,
Me too.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no,
chill
no.
the fuck out.
Nah, I'm thinking
no,
about
you're
straight offense in terms of like his
You're right.
limitations, in terms of his creativity and
Yeah.
actual ability to pass.
Yeah. I think, again, but Jokic is still, the debate is going to be Jokic for Shea because despite all this, Jokic is having an utterly ridiculous season. I said the stat lines that Shea has, like he just had 40 and 3 the other day, like a really efficient 40 points. On the same night, Jokic had another 35-point triple-double, 20 rebounds, as he's done a million times this season. He is still having the better individual production season. It's been ridiculous. There's been a lot of like focus on his defense because it's been worse because there's worse defensive talent around him, and he's the type of player that needs good defenders. No one's saying he's a great defender. You can't anchor your defense. You need Aaron Gordon to be healthy. You need a KCP type perimeter defender to make his pick and roll life easier, and they don't have that. So he's looked worse defensively because it's a worse environment, and people are really nitpicking that. But as of today, the Nuggets are up to the 4 seed. If they stay there and get higher and continue to be on a roll like they have been as of late, because Russell Westbrook and Nikola Jokic are on the same page, clicking, going crazy, man, if he gets to, they're only 2 games out the 2nd seed. If the Nuggets get higher, it's going to be a real crazy debate at the end, and it's going to get toxic. It's going to be real toxic.
Shea needs a 50-point game. That's what he needs. He needs
In March.
He needs to have one of those moments where Shea's just like unstoppable. I'm getting 50 tonight. I'm putting on the full arsenal, the full offensive arsenal, and you can see everything that I do, and I can show you that I can go into this like upper echelon of score, and that I'm not just like kind of capped out at like 31 to 39 points per game. He should, or having that kind of performance would do a lot for him, in my opinion.
You know
And I
what's
will
so
say the vibes are
interesting?
good right now.
Yeah.
The vibes are good right now because there's no fan base right now that's making themselves like the face of victim complex like we usually see. Like last year, it was Mavs fans that were losing their fucking minds because Nikola Jokic got it because he was the 1 seed or tied for it. I guess he actually was the 2nd seed. We'll have an amazing season. And Luke had a great season. But, every year there's a fan base like that makes it seem like national media wants their favorite player to die because that'll make him MVP. We're not seeing that right now because Luke is hurt. And Giannis fans, Bucks fans always had that victim complex because he plays in small market and they think everybody hates him in the world. That might become a thing when we get towards the end of the season. But right now we're not seeing a big push for it because the Bucks record is so much worse. So that's why the vibes are good right now because we don't have an insane fan base making themselves the face of everything negative in the world.
Isaac, I gotta get you out of these Twitter like wormholes, bro. I understand, like, in order for us to, it's literally our job to be in touch with these fans or whatever, but like just paying attention to them would be insane. Like earlier last night, I think I was in the Phoenix Suns subreddit. Folks were talking about trading Devin Booker and stuff like that. What the fuck are you talking about?
You going on subreddits is crazy. Team subreddits are just like the depths of hell. Everybody there is in despair after every loss.
Yeah. But one more thing that I wanted to touch on when it comes to Shea is you were mentioning how he's just consistently like elevating his game and he's sharpening his knife and what he's good at, Donovan. And yes, I remember earlier in the season, though, maybe in the first 8 games or so, whatever, if we all remember, he was one of those players who just decided to take, be like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take like 8, 9, 10 threes a game. And he was letting them bitches fly. And along with that, too, his efficiency his efficiency wasn't the greatest. And it threw off his whole like system as a player. And he reverted back to what he knows and got even better at all the things that he's been doing when it comes to getting to the rim and the crazy rate he's hitting all of his shots. I like the awareness.
I think Nikola Jokic should win MVP because when Westbrook and Jokic share the floor, Russ has a 60% true shooting and Denver has a 126 offensive rating.
Hey, shout out to Russ, man.
When Russ plays
And shout
without
out to
Jokic, he has a 47% true shooting and Denver has a 101 offensive rating.
Listen, man,
I
don't
think
use
Nikola
Russ
Jokic
like that,
should be
man.
MVP because
Yeah.
he's made Russ into a goon, and it's so helpful to them to have that second guard that is this level. Russ looks like Wizards Russ. He looks so good, and Jokic needs to be MVP because of that.
Don't use Brody as a prop. Don't do that. He's a person.
No, but unironically,
No,
it's
I
been
know,
incredible
no.
how Jokic makes him so much better.
It actually is wild how after it's been like 3 years since he's been in Washington and we've seen the ups and downs of Russ, and now he gets to play with another all-time great, and it's like, oh yeah, this is how you
fit for each
maximize it.
other. Like the way that Russ is so good at feeding Jokic on these cuts. Jokic is always a really good cutter, but they don't have great passes around him to hit him on these dimes. Him and Russ share a brain right now. Like they are both just running up and down the floor, throwing dimes to each other. Like the talking point on Twitter has been, look what happens when he plays with LeBron versus plays somewhere else. And that's just missing the point that Jokic is just the perfect player for Russ. In any era of Russ's career, Jokic would have been like the ideal player all time to pair with him.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's also like so interesting to see for Nikola Jokic too is that throughout the entirety of his career, he never really played with many good passers. The best passer that I can probably think of off the top of my head that he played with is who? Facu Campazzo. And
Shout out, MVP season.
And Russell Westbrook, if there's one thing that he's got at no one's ever sent over here and saying he's like one of the best passers that the league has ever seen or anything like that because of the type of passes that he tends to get off or whatever. But in terms of just like knowing the assignment and making the obvious plays and having the capabilities to get the ball to a certain point with his entry passes and just like quick instinctual passes, he's great at.
Yeah, and Russ will try it. He'll try those passes that not a lot of other people will, and like that's a necessary skill that it takes to be a good above average passer. You have to be able to like take risks, and I'm not saying that he's out here throwing Magic Johnson he passes, but like you need stuff to click like you said and work quickly, and that's what Russ is doing.
Yeah, Russ has made his passing career off of dump offs on the interior. Remember back in those days of Steven Adams where he get by his guy and dump it off to him down low? That and trailing threes. He's really good at getting to the paint early and kicking it out to the big man that's trailing from three. Who has amazing touchdown low for dump offs and can hit trailing threes? Nikola Jokic. Like it's the perfect fit from talent and position.
I agree.
Wow.
Man, could you imagine a prime Russ and prime Jokic duo? Whew. Goddamn.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, that's the vibe check on the MVP talks. I think right now we're at a strong 8 out of 10 on that. It'll get disgusting as the end of the season comes along, but right now it's feeling civil. What's the vibe check on the Timberwolves for y'all right now?
Man, oh man. It depends on the day. Sundays, I'm just
Honestly.
like, they're starting to figure it out. I see the defense creeping up. They're better than they were defensively last year, and they were the number 1 defense last year. But on offense, it depends on what type of Mike Conley I'm getting. It depends on the mood of Julius Randle, what type of basketball player that he wants to be on a certain day, Yeah.
They're 17-15 right now, 5-5 in their last 10, sitting at the 8 seed right now, half a game above the Spurs for the 9 seed. It hasn't been as horrible as it was, but for me, the vibes are really low, specifically in regards to Anthony Edwards. If I'm Anthony Edwards right now, the vibes are a goddamn 0. I'd be so mad if I was Ant right now. He's catching so much slander, especially after this game where he played versus Shea when they played the Thunder a few nights ago. And the takeaway was like, man, he is not on Shea's level. Shea had 40 and Ant got 9 shots off, or 11, whatever it was. The OKC guards blitzed him, made him get off the ball early, and just completely shut him down. And on Twitter, all I'm seeing is, I told y'all, Ant's not that guy. He's not who you want him to be. He's not a superstar guard. because in the minds of the average NBA fan, every star guard just plays the same way, is good at the same things, and if you can't do the same thing as another guy, you're simply not him. But this goddamn starting lineup that the Timberwolves will play right now is the worst fitting lineup I could possibly imagine to pair with Ant. It is a goddamn travesty, the support he has for his specific skill set. They're trying to make him play like a point guard. Like, he needs to play like Damian Lillard to succeed with this team. The worst spacing front court you can imagine in Randall and Gobert. That part's obvious. You get worse spacing than you have with Cat. Mike Conley can't create anything anymore. He's a spot-up shooter at this rate. He's washed, is what it is. He's old. That's fine. But that's a problem. Anthony Edwards needs to play with the point guard and spacing. Now he has neither. Jaden McDaniels can't do anything with the ball in his hands. He has been so bad. It makes me so infuriated watching him try to create. Ant passing the ball, and he's just freezes.
I'm sorry. It's so funny. You continue to tell the truth about Jaden McDaniels, and I'm
so mad.
And I'm never gonna accuse you of telling a lie. It is just so funny how upset you get about how bad Jaden McDaniels is.
I thought you were the one, man.
Yeah,
I did. I was so high on him, but I'm just not even okay. If he's not who I thought it was offensively, that's fine. That happens. Not every 3-and-D wing develops into Mikal Bridges offensively. It's cool. But just the way they've surrounded Ant, a rising star who needs to be empowered to take your team to the next level, especially if you're going to trade your other star, you need to be in a situation where Ant can take over. But to surround him with the worst possible talent you can imagine, to the point where he's going to play poorly, because how could he not? He has no ability to get to the rim with space, no ability to have any shots created for him. He has to do all the creation with the ball in his hands, create for others. He's not a fucking point guard. You're just setting him up to get slandered online. And I know he feels that because his life is really difficult and people are recognizing that. That's not a good way to empower your star, who you need to keep him happy because you are on a small market team after all. It's just bad vibes if I'm Anthony Edwards.
the vibes are perpetually low. I think it's, unless they went on some magical run and got up to like the 3 seed, this entire season is going to have low vibes, because you are coming off the heels of a Western Conference Finals trip with a different team, and you traded away. You traded away a franchise piece, your number 1 pick, who was there for almost a decade, and everything finally clicked. And when you were at the highest point that you've been in 20 years, you said, "Yeah, let's blow it up." There's not going to be anything that the Wolves can do to where on a nightly basis or when we look back on the season, you are not instantly going to compare them to last year's version of the Wolves and be like, "Wow, we had it so much better 9 months ago."
Yep.
Yeah. You see, my thing is, when this trade initially happened, when we had that emergency live stream, when we had that emergency live stream, out of the 3 of us, was trying to be, as usual, the most optimistic about the entire situation. Flexibility this, flexibility that. But as time has gone on, and I'm just seeing Bodega Cat doing his thing, thriving and all that, and thinking about how just it's been a complete 180 in terms of like how the Timberwolves are viewed now and how their future is set up. I'm just like, bro, like to your point, Donovan, they've been in the mud for 20 years. They are one of those NBA teams that just have been consistently pitiful. And the second that you do have like massive success with this new young star or your old star that you drafted back in the day, 8-9 years ago, you just like dismantle all that.
I'm glad you mentioned. I'm glad you mentioned Bodega Cat.
Yeah,
dude. I don't drink. If I was a Timberwolves fan and I had to watch Bodega Cat get all this love in New York City, I'd be at the bottom of a motherfucking bottle. I'd be losing my mind. I would be having a terrible year.
Yes, dude. Before we came on, Shams tweeted out the first wave of fan votes for the All-Star. So Anthony Edwards is 5th among guards with 411,000 votes. Karl Anthony Towns is 3rd among front court with over 1 million votes. The complete heel turn between what Anthony Edwards was in May, when everyone's like, that's Michael Jordan. He's the new face of the league. The Timberwolves are set up for the next decade. And Cat now being in New York and being one of the most beloved players in the league, like that's insane. And to go, like you guys are saying, to go off and watch him go somewhere else and continue to thrive and be embraced by another fan base like that has to hurt if you're a Wolves fan.
Cat is living his best life, hitting Soho, blowing bags, living the best life you could imagine.
Eating chopped
Fans
cheeses.
are loving eating it up. eating
Oh,
chopped
my
cheeses, power of friendship through his fucking veins.
Smoking
Meanwhile,
hookah, dancing
sure.
dancing to bachata. He's in Queens eating at Dominican spots.
Man.
Cat is loving it. And
And
Ant's
then
like,
Anthony Edwards is locked in hell in a cell, fighting God's toughest battles.
Gotta
asking for
gotta
more
witness
every
Julius
night.
Randle ISOs consistently again. Fuck, bro. Rudy
did y'all
Gobert's
see
still there.
Y'all saw the play where Julius Randle tried Jalen Williams 3 straight times, just trying to throw his
God.
shoulder into him, and then eventually got pickpocketed.
That's
I saw
pure
that and
LA
I was
Fitness
like,
basketball.
that's tough. That's tough. And I bet you Anthony Edwards was just in the corner like, all right, bro, like, come on. Like, we're open. I'm here.
And in his head, did you see the Aaron Yeager meme from Attack on Titan? Just trying to deal with it.
Yeah, just upset.
Yeah.
Like, it just,
It's safe to say that the
The-
vibes
yeah.
are like 0 out of 10 to me.
0 out of 10.
Yeah.
2 out of 10 if you're a Timberwolves fan, because you have
man.
you can root for Ant. You got a little bit of vibes. If you're Anthony Edwards, 0 out of 10. These are the worst vibes you can imagine.
I feel bad because somebody's about to get fired. Like, somebody is going to get fired. Somebody's not going to have their job. It is a bad basketball fit, and it's a bad, kind of locker room fit just because of how Julius Randle can get from time to time. And so if it's not going all well, now we're here. Now we're here, and you guys are fighting in the play-in.
Man, oh man, oh man. It's not fun right now.
Not
Okay,
even the
let's shift the other way again one more time for one last story I want to talk about. Get a vibe check. What's the vibe check right now on the Los Angeles Clippers? It's reported that
5.
Kawhi Leonard is close to a return, targeting this week. I think it was January 8th, their matchup, or something like that. Maybe it was the 5th, I forget. A Kawhi Leonard return is around the corner. Norm Powell is still averaging over 20 points per game, giving you more production than Paul George did last year. I'll say that. He's, as a scorer at least, he's
That's
been
crazy.
better.
Paul George this year. What you mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's obviously, duh. But
so we should talk about them. We should talk about the vibe check on the 76ers. But
that horse has been beaten dead.
But
But
for
Norm
the
Powell's still a
Clippers-
star scorer.
for the
James
Clippers,
Harden's doing James Harden stuff.
yeah, I'll say about like 7 out of 10. I actually feel pretty good about them considering that Kawhi's coming back because, like, I just keep looking. Like every time you log on and you look at the stats and you see who's leading in offensive rating, who's leading in defensive rating. It's always just like, wow, the Clippers are still up here at like the top of the league in defense, and like
They're amazing.
For them to do all of that, they honestly, like, they've exceeded my expectations defensively. Offensively, they are who I thought that they were going to be in terms of, like, when you look at them holistically, right? Like, you're a James Harden-led team at this point in his career. He's not super efficient. This is kind of, like what the ceiling is. And even though that you're getting this amazing production from Norm Powell, your offense is still led by a lot of James Harden creation. You don't have a lot of creation outside of him. So it's going to be what it's going to be, and it's not great. Like, they're 23rd in offense right now. But
Oh my God.
But you put Kawhi Leonard in there, somebody who
Yeah.
can go get his own shot. Can you get to, if you have a top 5 offense, can you get to 14, right, by the end of the year on offensive rating? Maybe. And that specifically, it's not going to make you a championship contender. It will make you dangerous. It will
Yes.
it will make you go into a playoff series where it's like, hey, we're not just going to beat this team in 5 games and be on our way. Like, we're actually going to have to sit down, lock in, and fight. So I actually do feel good about the Clippers moving forward.
The vibes are especially good right now because before the year they were in the goddamn toilet. The vibes were a 0 out of 10. As soon as we saw Kawhi's out again for another indefinite period of time, after they just paid him an extension and let Paul George walk,
They had a
and put their
lawsuit?
they had a lawsuit for Kawhi Leonard's knees being handled poorly, which that went into thin air. Who knows what happens with that?
Right.
Dude, the vibes were -12. It was like, holy fuck, we have no picks for a long time. New arena, owner wants to win. How is he gonna win? We're employing Mo Bamba, the guy with the 3-letter
Nah,
initials. His
leave
name I
Mo
won't say.
alone. Leave Mo Bamba alone.
Worse Mo Bamba, we got
That's
the
a
guy with the
crazy
3-letter nickname who I won't say his name because he's a piece of shit. We got to root for him. Yuck! It was just gross. And they the whole goal for
him. He's trash.
before the year, you had the hope that we could stay afloat before Kawhi came back.
He's awful.
And just like
he's awful, man.
trash person, trash team. He sucks.
Man. I used to go to Rockets games down here, and like obviously, you're like that would be like fake basketball. I would leave the arena so frustrated every time. It would just me and my dad would leave every time. We're like, this guy does not know how to play basketball. It's ridiculous.
And he can't keep his goddamn hands to himself. Fuck him. But,
Terrible.
The whole goal was, can you stay afloat and be good enough so when Kawhi comes back, you can have a decent team? And they've done so much better than that. The fact that they're not even in the play-in, they're a top 6 team without Kawhi, and they can have the hope to say, we're going to add a top 10 player in the world, get him back to speed. He doesn't got to do too much to start because we have 3 20-point per game scorers that are cooking. We can let Zubac cook, let Powell cook, let Harden do his thing, ease Kawhi in. That is so much hope for a team that's been devoid of that for the past calendar year. The vibes are at 12 now. It went from negative 12 to 12. We got a 24-point vibe swing in the span of 2 months. It's a good year to be a Clipper fan.
Hold on, you said 3 20-point per game scores. I thought I was like, oh my god, Zubac is giving us 20, giving us 15. But I know what you mean. I was like, God, Zubac is
on
like
any
that.
given night. No, he's not averaging 20. On any given night, he can give you 20.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, the vibes are 10 out of 10. I think we were on a TD3 stream on a Tuesday, specifically at 6 p.m. Eastern. Tap in if you know, you know. I think I said something along the lines of this Los Angeles Clippers team is primed to fuck up someone's goals and dreams, whether it be for a playoff berth or push or actually in the playoffs in the first round. They can definitely upset a team based off of the nature of who they are, and they're like a defensive-led team led by James Harden and a lot of tough buckets from Norm Powell and of course James Harden again. I don't think no one can look at them and take them serious as an actual like championship contender, but in terms of like them looking you in the eyes and taking a series all the way to 6-7 games, that's a very realistic thing, and I don't think no one will be happy and no one necessarily like rolling out of their bed excited, jolted with energy to go into the Intuit Dome and have to play them fucking 4 times in a row.
Yeah, and I'll say this too, like for Clippers fans, do not get your. I'm saying this as a warning because I actually care about your well-being in this moment. Whenever Kawhi comes back, do not get your hopes up because obviously we've seen in the past Kawhi his health and his needs are not something that you can rely on. So even if you do make a playoff push, like everything at this point in the season and in his career with Kawhi Leonard, in my eyes, is gravy. It's just a cherry on top. I'm not looking at anything that Kawhi can provide as like a foundational piece. And so like even if Kawhi does end up going back out, you still should be able to look at your team and look at the way that the Clippers have performed this season and still have really good vibes. Because again, you could be like the Suns and be in a similar position where you don't have control of your picks for a majority of the decade. You have these old stars. It could be a lot worse, and it's not. And I think that for the Clippers right now, it's at the top. And like Ty Lue should be on the finalist ballot for Coach of the Year.
Absolutely.
Minimum.
100%.
He should be one of the 3 final coaches on that. Whether or not you want to give it to him, right? Whatever, we kind of know the criteria for it, but like they've been good. And especially if they finish outside of the play-in, if they're in that top 6, oh yeah, Ty Lue needs to be Coach of the Year candidate for sure.
Easily. I agree.
Yeah.
Vibes 8 out of 10.
Who would have thought coming into this season that we would say, Clippers fans, life's going good for you. It's a good vibe season.
And we care about your well-being. I've never cared about them. But I care about you now.
That's on you. I can't say I care too much, but I'm happy for you.
I care about you now.
But I will say, if it does turn around, I will laugh. So I guess I can't claim to be that. I can't be that much of an ally.
Listen, in the illustrious words of LaMelo Ball, "New year, new me, same me though." You know, so like, it is what it is.
Now, with that being said, that concludes our hour of NBA vibe check. Looked around the league, the most interesting stories, who we got to feel out the vibes. We're done with that. Mo, what is the time for?
Dude, this is the first TikTok time of the year 2025. Nothing but funny moments, interesting segments. I'm ready to eat on these new pack of crayons, bro. Turn me up, please. Let's hurry up and get to TikTok time. 2025, let's do it.
Let's play some games. Let's get goofy. Let's get some tomfoolery going on. Let's have some fun. Let's go to TikTok time. Woo! Welcome to TikTok time. We're once again beginning with the draft. This is going to be a very fun draft. This is one that we've been looking forward to for a long time. It's really the definitive draft. You know, when you think about building NBA teams and putting together something that requires real discourse, requires real intellectualism, real analysis of the game, just overall ball knowledge, it's this draft right here. This draft is going to be a draft of fictional characters into NBA teams. We're going to draft point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, full teams. Only criteria, it's a fictional character. Do with what you want with that.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. I got this.
First pick, we got Donovan. Second pick, Mo. Third pick, me. So, Donovan, where are we going in the first pick of the fictional NBA or fictional basketball player draft?
With the first pick, I would like to take Wilt from the Foster's home.
No! Fuck, that was my pick. God damn.
Damn. That is the right 1-1. We got a 7-foot demon. You got it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Damn.
Okay, you got it.
Go ahead.
You got it. That was literally
scramble
my
on
pick,
your
bro.
draft boards.
Shit.
Okay. I need something to counteract with that length, and all I need, when I think about that, I need to get more size. With my first pick of the 2025 fictional players draft, Johnny Bravo, you are drafted as my center. Congratulations.
Johnny Bravo. Nice.
Yeah. I need someone to distract the crowd, bro.
I don't know how this guy slipped to me. Give me Air Bud at small forward. That's an obvious pick.
Mismatch.
Air Bud?
I need his intangibles.
Mismatch.
Clearly.
Is that a dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hooper. Bozo.
What?
And then at shooting guard, I need a sharpshooter. Give me Hawkeye.
That's good. That was my
I'm
pick.
not missing.
That was
I'm
my
not missing
pick.
from three.
That was my pick.
Okay.
Air Bud driving kick. It's ridiculous.
Those were my 2-shooter picks. Don't know where to go from here now.
Mo, where are you going?
Okay. So, at my point guard, I need someone who could really slow things down and catch you off guard. Give me Meatwad. You remember Meatwad? from Adult
Meatwad.
Swim? Yeah.
Okay.
Meatwad.
Listen, I don't know if you have the mobility you need from a point guard, but go for it.
Listen, it'll throw you off, bro. You look at him, you'll think he's the basketball, but really you're holding him. Technical foul. 2 points on my side. You're out of the game.
Lovely.
Okay. All right. At my point guard, again, your point guard has to run the team. Your point guard needs to be able to have vision, creativity. And that's why for me, I'm taking Phineas from Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, an icon. Okay. Listen, the brains behind the operation. That makes sense.
Yes. I would
Okay.
like Phineas at my point guard. And listen.
Don't tell me you're getting the duo. Don't tell me you're getting the duo. We let them full fall to you.
Listen. Sometimes you need somebody who is just, and actually, I'm not going to do it. I will break up the duo. It is okay. Phineas is undersized. I need somebody big body to defend. Give me Raphael, the Ninja Turtle, at my 2 guard.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. Big homie Raphael.
That's
like
athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah.
I need somebody to make up for Phineas' shortcomings on the defensive end. He's the offensive engine. He's the defensive engine in the backcourt. Perfect tandem.
Okay. I need someone who doesn't play any games and who's long, has hella options, and mobility. Give me Squidward from SpongeBob. I need him at my 3. He don't play no bullshit, bro.
You got a
So
drill
those
sergeant on the
moves.
court.
That is
Yeah,
Julius
exactly.
Randle. Your vibes, listen, don't let y'all get down by 10. Your vibes would be terrible.
Okay. I need a big man. Give me Hodor at center
Okay.
Who?
from Game of Thrones.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Never watched it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Give me
Touch
Hodor. I need a
grass.
big body. And point guard. Give me Larry David.
Who?
This man is so uncultured. Fucking crown eater.
Where's Larry David from? Where's he from?
Hey, if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Those who get it, get it.
Yeah.
Donovan, do you
Exactly.
even know?
Don't worry about me.
He doesn't know either.
Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me.
Mo,
All
your
right.
pick.
Crickets. Anyways. All right.
I just hope you know you're the problem in that, not the crickets. You're the uncultured one.
Crickets. At my 2 guard, I need a dog. You said you got Airbud. Fuck Airbud. I got someone who actually is a real dog. Someone who will snitch on your ass. Someone who protects what's important. Give me Courage the Cowardly Dog. Someone who will snuff out anything that's wrong when it comes to my defense or my
Weak ass
offense,
dog.
bro.
Fuck out of here.
Weak ass
Weak
dog.
dog.
that he's the best dog that you could ever imagine on your defense.
He's not the goodest
team,
boy.
Bro.
He's not the goodest boy. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't need somebody who's the goodest boy. I need someone who's gonna do his job. That's what it is.
All right, it's on me. These are my last 2 picks.
Yep.
At my power forward, see, I have creativity at my 1. I have Wilt at my 5. I have a defensive specialist at my 2. And I just want another big body. I want somebody at my power forward who, whenever you see them coming, you get scared. You know you are not running through that brick wall. Give me Groot at my 4.
Ooh, Groot's a great pick.
Screen setter extraordinaire. His highlights, we are going to, that is a traditional power forward. Bossman D'Lo is playing in his highlight team. That is what I want. He's at my 4.
Man.
And at my 3, again, a weird amalgamation of talent that I have on my team. So you need somebody who can fit a whole bunch of stuff. You need somebody who's flexible. I need somebody who's versatile, somebody who can be anything that they want, somebody who can transform into anything that my team needs. Give me
God.
Bumblebee at my 3.
You got a whole car? He's not coming into the arena.
3. He can be anything he needs to be in this world.
That's funny.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Bullshit. All
like
right, so I got my last pick. I have a pretty versatile, flexible lineup, but I do think I need more playmaking. I need someone who can make plays for me. And with that in mind, give me one of the best playmakers, bag getters, bag chasers in cartoon history, Ed from Ed, Ed and Eddie, the small one.
Ooh.
I need him at my 3 because he's a great connectivity
He's a schemer.
piece, bro.
He is a schemer.
Exactly. He's always thinking.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not about to get out dogged. Give me the goodest boy. Give me Clifford, the big red dog at power forward.
Goodest boy. No, okay, you got hella dogs on your team. Okay.
My dog level's not getting beat. Fuck out of here.
All right.
The
Between
Larry
him
David
and
Clifford
Groot,
collection.
but listen, that's a good matchup right there. Between Clifford and Groot,
The paint is not getting scored in. I'm not gonna lie to you.
you will have to shoot from half court.
Clifford Hodor, that's a lot of fucking girth.
I'm like, I just need to give that boy a belly rub and he'll be like so distracted, bro. He's not playing
Foul.
no defense.
That's a foul. You can't rub somebody's tummy.
No, it's not. What happened to physicality? It's not no foul.
There's no hand checking.
It's not hand checking. It's paw checking. I'm gonna have courage doing that to him.
He's paw checking. Okay, that's the draft for the day. Let's get over to some basketball talk. Specifically, let's talk celebrities. I'm going to show you guys an NBA player's celebrity lookalike, and you got to guess who the player is.
Talk to me.
Okay,
We've done this
we
before.
gotta see it.
I got another 10 for you. We did it last time. You guys did a decent job. Some of them threw you for a loop. I think Taylor Cruz is Nas Reed. Threw you guys for the biggest loop. We'll see if you guys can do a better job this time.
All
Right, bet.
So real simple. Which NBA player is this? First off, we got Prince.
right. There's only one person that I can think of, and there's only one person in the NBA who would wear something like Prince, and you kind of see the hair a little bit. Is this Shea?
No, what the fuck? He looks nothing like Shea. It's celebrity lookalikes, not drip off.
All right. That's my guess.
I've never been so lost in my entire life. I have no idea who this is.
Yeah, you're not getting this one. You're cooked already. I'll just give it to you immediately. Set the tone. This is Andrew Nemhard.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Never seen that. Never seen
That's
that.
good. Andrew Nemhard
just so
been
you
gone
know.
for a minute. He's just not coming back. He's been absent on my mind.
And keep in mind, I didn't make any of these up. These are all pulled from Reddit. So they're not my lookalikes. If you guys disagree, take it up with Reddit. But apparently Andrew Nemhard is Prince.
Listen, I'll be in the subreddits tonight because I got to
see
see what I got to see what they're talking about.
I see. I can't believe you said Shea Donovan. That's insane.
Yeah,
It
it's a horrible guess.
It was pure,
Just because
first
of
of all,
aura, like, ooh, aura. Who can I think of in the NBA? Shea.
Ooh, he just like Prince.
That's what I thought we were going with. He's just light skinned.
Okay, next one. We got Bryce Young.
He looks like
Interesting.
somebody, man.
This was-
That's the point.
Somebody that I know, and it's starting to brew in my head, but I can't spit it
I
out
said
just
this
yet.
this one's not hard. This one should be one of the easier ones.
Not hard. Kind of looks like
Is this CJ McCollum?
no,
it's not CJ
KJ
McCollum.
Martin.
KJ Martin's a good guess.
That's a great
that's
guess.
pretty close. It's not who we're looking for though.
Shit, it might be better than the original one.
I know. depending on what these people are coming up with.
Damn,
Damn.
it's not bad at all. You guys cooked? You guys suck at this today.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. This is Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
It's the hair.
Yeah.
It's the hair that
Jordan
threw me
Poole
off.
with his fro, especially. Yeah, that is Jordan
Yeah,
Poole.
the mustache and the little chin hair
Yeah.
and the eyebrows. It's Jordan Poole.
Yeah. Damn. Okay.
0 for 2.
All right,
Unbelievable.
we gotta
lock
turn
in.
up. We have to turn up.
We gotta lock in hard. We got Lil Nas X.
Who is this
picture-
player, bro?
This picture is also just funny.
Mewing.
Staring into my soul.
He's locked in.
See, like the mewing reminds me of Shay. The hair reminds me of Ja. Don't know where to.
It's not Shay, but I saw somebody on Reddit say it's Shay.
Yeah.
Bro, I have no idea where to go
Who can
with
this
this.
be? Are we? Yo, we just cooked today.
This has to be some young player. Some young player.
Not an old player.
Yeah, no old players doing this.
I'm lost. I'm completely.
Oh
lost
my
right now.
God. 0 for 3. You guys have no
Yeah.
thoughts in those heads. This is John Morant.
All right, this is so.
Okay, I should have just
So-
went with it.
They look nothing alike. He
This
just set up his hair on
is
top, bro. This is
targeted.
terrible. Yeah, this is not right. This is not right.
Very
Reddit.
targeted.
Take it up with Reddit. I mean, you see it. It's not. You see
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I saw the hair and said Shay, but it said Ja, but like that was it.
Reddit, y'all need to have more of a diverse friend group. That's all that tells me.
Low key,
This is
low
crazy.
key in this picture, Ja looks more like Bryce Young than Lil Nas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, next one. Can we finally get one on the board? Chris Brown.
Oh, I know this.
Do you know this?
I'm all too familiar with this face.
Please.
Yeah. In my mind, when I see
Save
Chris
us.
Brown, I think I see DeJounte Murray.
Oh my God, you guys suck at this today. No, it's not DeJounte Murray.
what? Holy shit.
I'm gonna just go light skin for light skin. Is this Kelly Oubre?
No,
No,
it's not a
hell
current
no,
player.
hell no,
It's
hell
not a
no.
current player.
Oh, he's not a current player.
Oh, okay.
No.
Then Shannon Brown.
Damn. Yeah, I was about to say
Yes,
Shannon
this
Brown,
is Shannon
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this is a famous one. Come on, get one
Okay.
right.
I thought we were just going off of today.
Current. Yeah. Okay.
No. Okay, finally, we're on the board. Whew. This has been a struggle. This has been not good content.
Are they cousins for real? Or no?
What, cousins? I don't know. Where'd you get that from?
Brown.
I don't know. Online.
If I said it. Next one. Booker McFarlane.
Man, oh man.
Man,
We all
I
know this.
one. We all know
This
this.
is a
one.
fallen soldier. Someone who
Fallen
used to be
soldier.
towards the tippity top of the NBA world.
He's not dead.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In what
I
light?
don't have much to say. We can get it out the way. This is Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
This is Zion Williamson. I had to do the classic in there. Get some easy ones for you guys. 'Cause I figured you might struggle with the beginning. Well, a little bounce back. I want you guys to see the ball go in the net.
It's insane how the resemblance is uncanny. Same exact face, copy and paste, bro.
Ridiculous.
Next one. We got Poussey from Orange is the New Black.
Bro, who are these players?
This was actually really good.
Who say?
Poussey, Washington.
Never seen the show, by the way.
Best character in the show.
Who are these players?
I can if I squint, I feel like I'm kind of seeing
Dude,
it,
once I
but,
tell
like,
you who this is, it's going to be hilarious.
Is it a current day player?
is it
Yes.
kind of? I kind of see
Well,
like DeMar DeRozan
No, it's not DeMar DeRozan.
a little.
Is it
bit.
like
I get it, but no.
you
it's
can
much
kind of
closer.
see the vision?
is it
Yeah, a
Amen
little
Thompson?
Fuck no.
Damn, bro.
That's my guess.
Donovan
It is-
Mitchell.
It is DeLon Wright.
Oh.
Wow.
See, who be thinking about DeLon right on a day-to-day basis? Not me.
Nobody.
Damn.
Dude, I look into Poussey's face. I see DeLon Wright. This is a good one.
I have bigger fish to fry than DeLon Wright.
Yeah.
He's not on my fantasy team or anything. No, I don't care about DeLon.
This is a good one. This is crazy.
Okay.
We got Pete Buttigieg.
All right.
That's your
This is
mans.
pretty easy. He's
It's my
white.
man. Who's man's?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
who's Mans?
It's one of y'all's. Just a general man's. But that's
Somebody's
Brad.
mans?
Yeah, that's Brad Stevens.
This is
That is-
somebody's man's Brad Stevens.
These guys are twins.
Dude, looks so much. I showed my girlfriend this. She was like, "Wait, those are two different people."
Yeah.
They look exactly the same.
Yeah.
And shout out to Pete for having the Celtics hat too.
Yeah, he knows where he comes from. You know where home at. Next one, Chance the Rapper.
Oh God, he know where home at. Just sent shivers down my spine. That phrase is, stand up.
Chance the Rapper.
Wow. Another guy. See, I'm trying to give Chance a second chance. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want that greatness.
Who's this player?
Man, you guys have nothing going for you today, do you?
No, it's really head empty, no thoughts.
Oh
over
my
here.
God.
This is
terrible.
cooked. Hold on. Wait a second.
I thought you were the man knower.
Oh, not today, bro. I guess like it's 2025 and I'm like the universe is giving me a new calling card. What is it yet? I don't know, but it's not knowing men anymore.
It's not man. This is Kent Bazemore.
Who the hell is thinking about Kent Bazemore?
Nah, that's wrong. That's wrong.
It is. I see it. It's accurate.
First of all, if you're gonna do anything with Chance the Rapper lookalike, put a hat on Kent Bazemore.
Yeah.
That's the only way that you can look at Chance the Rapper.
Nah, if you throw a hat on him, make him look down a little bit, it's there. It's there. For sure.
That's what I need. I need a hat.
That is very accurate. That is very accurate.
We got, what's her name again? I forget. Fuck, the actress. Oh, why did I forget her name? Let me look it up. I gotta know her name.
I don't even remember her name
Who
at
is
all.
this? Who's on my screen right now?
Why is this person in my screen right now?
Oh, okay.
Help! Help!
We got
What's going
the
on right
actress
now?
Joey King. Who's in
Okay.
Bullet Train.
Isn't she? Never mind.
Word? She was in Bullet Train?
She's in Bullet Train, yeah. Joey King.
I saw Bullet Train. I did not recognize her.
Yeah.
She's the white girl. She's only one white girl, the white girl in Bullet Train who's like putting all the shit in motion.
I guess I haven't seen it. I guess I haven't seen it in a while.
She's the antagonist.
Okay, what NBA player is this?
Is it Jokic?
What
No.
the fuck?
Hell no. What the hell are we
No, it's
talking
not
about right now?
Jokic.
I'm just
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I don't know who this is. I'm
Is this a
dipping,
current day player,
just a
Isaac?
little bit into the bag.
Yes.
Just a little
It's a
bit.
current day player.
Just a little bit
Okay.
into the bag. Didn't mean to.
Someone who's playing right now. I'm looking at a list of all the teams. Is this Jaime Jaquez?
What the fuck? No, it's not.
Damn. Was that worse than Jokic?
Yes.
Haha. I don't have to wait. Yes.
This is Grayson Allen.
What the hell am I looking at right now?
See, people on Reddit they have too much time. That's what it is.
Touch grass.
This is hilarious. If you guys knew who Joey King was, this is hilarious.
Physical activity.
Sorry. I don't mean to sound ridiculous, but
Last but not least, we got the rapper Token.
Oh, and
Tell me
is
you know this
hilarious,
one.
bro. Yeah, I know this one. You have a clue, Donovan?
I mean, I have two options.
Yeah.
Who is it?
It's either Tyler Hero or Chet Holmgren.
No.
Oh my God.
Picking white boys.
He's just picking one.
Look at his stance. Look at the way that his hands are. He clearly feels some type of way. That's what I was going off of. I don't know who. Oh, it's
He just picked
this
some of the
Bogey?
most popular bright skinned boys. Yes, this is Bog. Yeah, this is Bogdan.
This is Bogdan. This is crazy.
They look the same. They look the same.
Wow, that was a generationally horrible performance, but you guys closed it with a bang. You got one right. Listen,
We got
count
three
the small
right.
wins when you can.
We got 3 right.
3 out of 10.
God damn, that's the
Listen,
worst show
in
we had.
baseball, that's a good percentage.
It was getting $100 million in baseball.
Exactly.
It's all about perspective. I love it.
Oh man, that was bad. Okay, next thing we're gonna do. Let's talk about influence on the NBA world.
Let's talk about it.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you 2 NBA players. You're gonna tell me who has more influence on. You can think about it however you want. On-court product, culture, the style of play we see today, the league at the time, whatever it is. However you view NBA player influence, you tell me which player has more of it.
Let's go.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant?
This is so hard. KD has influence in terms of how long, skinny kids want to play. Kyrie
There's a lot of
has
KD
influence.
clones.
Yeah, there's
Look at
so
Wemby.
many.
Look at Wemby.
So many
KD has
KD
sons.
clones.
Yes, but KD's sons are like 0.5% of the population because there's only a certain percentage of the population that is like 6'10" and has crazy athleticism. Everybody can relate to Kyrie Irving. Also, Kyrie's basketball shoes, as of
How's
late,
Kyrie relatable to you? I can't relate to Kyrie.
if you have never gone into your backyard, onto the street, put a plastic bag on the basketball and tried to dribble.
You got me. You got me. You got me. I did that. I did that when I was younger.
So, I'm gonna get him today. I'm gonna get him at the rec today. Like, that's Kyrie.
Okay. This one was close. I think on the NBA, it's Kevin Durant, but on fans, it's probably Kyrie.
Yes.
How's it came around the NBA? Oh, in terms of
You got sons. You got sons. People want to play like him. Look at Michael Porter Jr. Look at Victor Wembanyama. Look at all these big guys who shoot now. A lot of that's because of KD.
Yeah. At a certain point in time, you'll be shocked to believe this, Isaac, but Jaden McDaniels is getting KD comparisons.
Great.
High school basketball.
Jabari Smith Jr. got fucking drafted 3rd overall because people were like, see a little bit of KD in there.
If you are 6'10" and skinny, you are Kevin Durant.
And if you have a little bit of wiggle, automatically KD.
Not even, you don't know, Jabari Smith don't got wiggle. If you shoot a little bit, then you're Kevin Durant. If that, it's just you gotta shoot a little bit.
All right, he had a little bit of wiggle in Auburn, just a little bit, just a tad.
All right. Next one, classic. Kobe or LeBron?
Kobe's definitely more worldwide. He's touching everywhere, bro. Kobe's definitely more worldwide.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
He's more worldwide. He definitely is more worldwide.
If you think he's more influential, fine. Worldwide? I mean, it's
Yeah.
LeBron James. He's like one of those famous people of the fucking last 50 years.
Yeah, but like people in the streets of China are not like rocking with LeBron like how they are with Kobe.
Well, that's for a reason. We don't know. That's neither here nor there. Why China is rocking with
this is
LeBron.
a different conversation.
But even before that, they weren't rocking with LeBron like that over Kobe.
China's neither here nor there.
I'll say this: Kobe's play style, still to this day, whether right or wrong, is what people think superstars should look like in terms of like a 2 guard.
Is that because of him or because of Jordan?
Listen, he also carried it on. Like, he's part of that. 2, his basketball shoes are just hands down better than LeBron's.
That is true.
Okay.
We make Kobe clones for sure.
And 3, if you are shooting trash into a trash can, nobody's ever saying LeBron. You say Kobe.
Exactly. In terms of like the actual NBA, we see so many players who thrive off of like having similar-ish skill sets to LeBron. And that's like the new blueprint in terms of like, yeah, you need someone who's humongous, can pass a little bit and just big down low. Shades of LeBron. We see that all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more influence in terms of like actual NBA stuff. And also, of course, we can talk about the player empowerment and blah shit.
That's
obviously
the best argument for LeBron.
Yeah, that's not blah. It's he's changed the fucking landscape of the NBA, how we view the league, how we empower the players, how stars are expected to carry themselves. Like we talk about the NBA rings are going to fall off a cliff when they lose him because he is that influential to how we view the league and how fans perceive the NBA. He is the face of the NBA to a degree that nobody besides Jordan was. That is pretty influential.
In terms of the streets, it's Kobe. In terms of the NBA, it's LeBron.
Yeah, if you want to if you want to go get your PhD in business ethics and whatever, all right. LeBron got it. You don't have Mamba mentality like Kobe. Yeah. All right, and Kobe showed the world what Mamba mentality is about. It's Kobe.
Those Chinese 8-year-olds screaming Kobe till the day they die. That's the difference.
That's what I'm saying. I think I might lean Kobe with this one.
All right, man. Next one. Magic Johnson or Shaq?
It's Magic Johnson.
Really?
Shaq is just such like a being and like a figure in himself. It's so hard. Like Shaq doesn't have any sons in the NBA because there's not like people aren't 7'2", X amount of pounds, moving the way that he was, have the personality that he was. Anybody who is 6'9", if you can't shoot but have a little bit of playmaking chops, it's like, hey, listen, maybe, he's on that magic tree. He's on that Magic Johnson spectrum.
Who the hell says that? I've never heard anyone say that ever in my entire life.
Ben Simmons.
Fair.
Come on.
Ben Simmons got magic comps.
He was right there.
When I think of influence in this picture right here, in the setup right here, I think of Shaq in lights of like, yo, he knows how to make $1. He is a bag getter.
Magic Johnson is with Starbucks. What are you talking about?
No, Magic Johnson. If we're going there, I
think
think no. Magic was the blueprint for Shaq to get a bag. Magic is the first one that was getting his face out there in all these commercials. He was wearing these designer fur coats, all this stuff.
Yeah, Magic started, but Shaq perfected it.
Well, who influenced Shaq?
Did he?
Magic Johnson.
Did he? Let's go band for band right now. Who has more?
Definitely Shaq.
I don't know.
It is not definitely. Magic Johnson owns. He's like part owner of the
teams.
Dodgers. Of the Dodgers, he's in on the Commanders now. Magic Johnson's breaded.
Are we pocket watching right now?
Hey, we're going with the Bucks. We're going Magic Johnson.
That's what we do. What do you mean?
Yes,
we pocket watch.
Are you new here? Okay.
It was in the handbook.
Larry Bird or Allen Iverson?
Well, this is a two America situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It really depends on who you're walking up to when you ask somebody on the street.
I think what Allen Iverson did for young Donovan, Larry Bird probably did for young Dylan.
Yes,
It's probably the same thing.
It really depends on like where you are on the Mason-Dixon line. And if you are like above that in a certain area, Larry Bird is your guy. But if you're below that,
bag test.
Yeah, like if you're below that or by the Atlantic Ocean, Allen Iverson is your guy, and he really changed your life.
It's a simple, super simple conversation. Depends on, it's all it is. That's the answer.
But also overall, it is Allen Iverson. This man had they changed the rules because of him. So whether Timmy likes it or not, it's Allen Iverson.
You're going.
There's a lot of white kids out there. There's a lot of them. There was a lot of them in 1985. I don't know.
I don't care what Chad thinks.
I know that is
Allen
true,
Iverson.
but also I think there's a lot more white kids who try to be like Allen Iverson, i.e. Kristaps Porzingis. That man had a fucking AI jersey on, put on braids when he was younger too. I don't know if there's many, kids.
I do. Yes, there is.
Like
yes,
Larry
there
Bird.
is.
Like Larry
Yes,
Bird. Larry Bird.
In the 1980s, Larry Bird had aura. He had saw.
I understand
the way he
that.
had
We're
this
like
fucking
40
mullet
years
with the
removed,
mustache, and he was, yeah. Well,
Those kids have mortgages and like are about to retire.
Yeah.
But everybody has like cut up the sock and put it on as like a shooting sleeve.
Yeah. I might lean towards AI naturally, of course.
okay. J.R. Smith or Lance Stevenson?
Hey.
Who has the better meme? This is the real.
Y'all don't know.
Conversation.
Y'all don't know about Nick's tape. Is J.R. Smith hands down, easily?
Why is it easy? Tell me about it.
Listen, I can't say particularly where his influence has come from on that side. But if we even talking about just the Cavs stint, the fact that he forgot the score and gave us the infamous LeBron meme, right off rip, that's J.R.
Who
Smith.
gave us the better LeBron meme? Is it J.R. Smith or Lance Stevenson? Me personally,
J.R. Smith.
blowing in
Blowing in the
another
ear?
grown man's ears.
See,
You
but
never
that
seen
meme
that
is
basketball
more.
tactic.
But that meme is more about Lance Stevenson than it is about LeBron. With the LeBron,
Good. It's a Lance
Exactly.
Stevenson combo.
Yeah,
It's a Lance
that's
Stevenson
where the
influence.
conversation ends. This is Lance Stevenson influence, bro.
What you just told me is Lance Stevenson, his iconness stands on its own more than J.R. Smith does compared to LeBron. Lance Stevenson wins.
Look, you see how LeBron's greatness just permeates in every single conversation. You use LeBron and what he was able to do to uplift J.R. Smith in these
hell yeah.
conversations. This is what he
That's
does,
LeBron's
bro.
influence.
He just makes
LeBron's
his teammates
influence right
better,
here.
and we're
Both of
witnessing it in non-basketball conversations. This is LeBron.
This is where both of their careers elevate the most. Is whenever they were close to LeBron. That's the most we've ever talked about them. So yes, I'm gonna bring him up in this combo.
That's right. Just as long as you know, as long as you recognize
Exactly.
Recognize what?
greatness.
Okay, he's great. Now what? Like, what's the point?
Correct. Next one. Steph Curry or Michael Jordan?
Damn.
Probably the
Naturally,
two
it
biggest
probably has to
influences in the
be-
league's history.
We've said it before. I'll say it again. Nobody has ever been beat up waiting in line for some curries. I'm going with Michael Jordan. I'm going with Jordan.
I mean,
It's Jordan.
it has to be. Jordan's probably one of the most influential athletes to ever grace the goddamn earth.
Yeah.
If anybody can rival him, it's Curry for this generation, though. He is close, especially with the style of
Definitely.
play stuff. Every little kid wants to play like him. Look at LaMelo Ball. That doesn't happen without Curry.
I need to know the exact number of how many grown men, not adolescent men, grown men, shave their head bald because of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. How many grown men looked at Michael Jordan and called him Black Jesus?
Probably like 4.
No, a lot.
No, this is a lot
That's his
more than
nickname.
4.
That's his legit nickname. That's a lot.
That's a nickname that one athlete said one time, and everybody remembered. That wasn't a real nickname.
I'm leaning towards Michael Jordan.
I'm going with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steph
Paul
did
George
influence-
or Carmelo Anthony?
See, you're trying to set me up. And I see through your ways.
I've
We don't
never seen an NBA team sit down and be like, "Oh my God, he reminds me of Carmelo Anthony. We need to draft him." That blueprint does not exist.
Just
Scary
saying teams are trying to find the next Melo.
Yeah, no one says that.
Every team wants the next Paul George.
Yeah, scalability.
I would love the next Paul George on my team.
Let's talk about it. Cam Reddish, we thought he was the next Paul George. Let's talk about it.
Donovan?
See.
Who the hell is rocking Mellows compared to PGs?
Ew, I know.
You
Mellows
wanna talk
suck.
Mellows are stinky. Ew, his logo even back then. Ew.
I can't.
Good. PU.
I can't even
Yeah.
say anything. Jordan Brand has some of the worst signature sneakers of all time. Whoever their designers are should have been fired immediately. All right, fine. Paul George got it.
You said that so dejected. You
Yeah.
feel like you like let the demon into your heart?
Ain't no demons in my heart. We cast those out. We cast those out.
Hey, LeBron's influence again. There you are.
Not today, Lord. Not today.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
So we can even talk about the podcast game too if you want.
Oh, and
Paul
the
George.
listen. Who did the
Kills
podcast
it, bro.
first? Paul George.
Paul.
Who followed? Mello.
Exactly. Teaching Paris how to get a bag outside of the court, bro. It's PG.
You want to talk about getting a bag outside the court? Listen, we're pocket watching right now. We can talk about Melo right now. I don't have.
For pocket watching, Paul George wins that conversation.
You don't know what Carmelo has off the court. You don't know what he's done in
talking
his
about Melo's
post-basketball career. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know shit about these offshore
Grown men
accounts.
arguing about who makes more money. You ain't got no money like him, man.
He's not breaded like him.
Look at his watch. Look at his car.
Last but not least, Kevin Garnett or Charles Barkley.
Oh my God.
I want to spit my water out.
This is a crazy.
It's easily Charles Barkley.
This is the classic Isaac emote, bro. Anytime
I know you just did this last week.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't
4K
I don't
footage of
see you. Yeah, I don't see you walking around calling people Lord like Kevin Garnett. But you will stuff some churros down your face. So I'm going with Charles
what?
Barkley.
That's racist as fuck. What are you talking about?
He was just eating churros.
I haven't had churro in years.
Cap.
That's targeted. Damn.
This is so racist. Somebody get him.
Ah, there you go. He just has an itch. It's bad, bro. Churroitis. Just love stuff and shit.
Stuff and shit is crazy.
Oh,
That's
man.
insane.
He only put that just so that he could do that on camera.
Exactly. We didn't even
Say
answer.
you love
answer
churros.
the
Let the tables be turned.
Go ahead.
question.
Go ahead. You won't get any pushback from me.
You're right.
Let's see.
Next thing we're gonna do.
Man.
Let's talk about some jerseys. We've done a lot of jersey TikToks over the years. We did city jerseys as of late. Is the last one we did.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about some forgotten jerseys. Some jerseys that history doesn't talk about enough. And I'm gonna have you rate them from 1 to 10.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
So a variety from over the years, just ones that I think will be forgotten over time. First off, we got the Chicago Bulls throwback jersey from 2005.
Yeah.
Wow.
These should stay forgotten.
YMCA.
These should stay forgotten. This looks like this is 100% like AAU stuff where you have your reversible jersey and it's like, all right, who we playing at 1? All right, flip it inside out. Who we playing at 3? Flip it inside out. I do not like this whatsoever.
You don't respect the OGs, the origins, 1945 throwbacks.
They don't know what they were
Garbage.
doing in 1945. They were smoking crack back then. They got crack 30 years early.
The Prohibition days.
Yeah.
Facts. They're making their own
Cody's
crack.
in the garbage.
It was moonshine jerseys. So where are we going?
Oh,
1 to
I mean,
10.
it's a clear 0.
2.
But like,
It can't be a 0 because you could actually like see yourself wearing these. These are convenient.
no, as a uniform, it's a 0. As a jersey, it's probably like a 2.
Okay. We can go 0. Next up, we got these yellow Hawks throwbacks.
I actually really like these.
Oh man, I miss these so much.
Really?
These are fire as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, for like a Heinz mustard look.
Stop
Nice
it.
little McDonald's collaboration.
This encapsulates what an alternate jersey should be, right? We're not going to wear this. We're not going to wear this every night. We're not going to run it into the ground. But sometimes on special occasions, on just, some fun Friday nights, we're going to pull these out and it's going to be a different look. This is what an alternate should be, man.
Yeah.
To me, this encapsulates a brand that sells cheese.
Nah.
And what's
To
wrong
me,
with
this
cheese?
encapsulates Baby Bell.
And what's wrong with Baby Bell?
You don't like your calcium? That's all that tells me. You
don't rock
lactose
with Gouda?
intolerant? That's not my fault.
Munster?
My bad. Okay. Listen, if you guys are Team Mustard, you can have it. I'll give it a 4.
Reggiano?
I'll give this an 8.
Pecorino Romano? You don't mess with all that?
The cheese bag is deep today.
Come on,
I know.
talk to me.
4 out of 10. Not rocking
8.
with it.
No, it's 8.
Don't like it.
It's 8.
Don't like it.
You don't like fun.
You don't like
Next
cheese.
one.
Just expose them.
What about these St. Patrick's Day Bulls jerseys? They stopped doing this. They need to bring it back.
They should.
The only reason why I hate when teams completely veer away from their colors, but
You don't.
It's
What? You don't respect
Chicago.
the Irish origins of Chicago. You don't understand the heritage here.
I heard they go ahead and they dye their little lake entirely green. That's cute.
The little
For that, I
lake.
give it like a 5. something like
What
that.
lakes and rivers are there in Atlanta? Y'all got little lakes, little rivers.
We got ponds.
Don't ever disrespect the Chattahoochee like that a day in your life, bro.
The what?
You ever shoot the hooch in your life?
The Chattahoochee?
Yeah, Chattahoochee River. You ever shoot the hooch
Neither
in
here nor
a day
there.
in your life?
Y'all are country.
Never.
This,
You know,
I'm gonna give these jerseys a solid 8.5. I rock with it a lot. It's classic. It's part of Bulls culture. I think they should do it every single year.
Just like I said with the Hawks one. This is what an alternate jersey should be. You have a special day. It's one time a year that we're gonna put on these green jerseys. Yeah, let's do it.
I
10
don't
out
know.
of
Like,
10.
I think it's veering too far away. Too far away. I like if it was a hint of green, I'd be like, yo, this is hard. But the entire jersey green?
All I'm
fuck,
hearing is
man?
cowardice. You scared to change?
Come on,
This
this is
scared
cool.
to change. I think
Let's
they
unpack
just
this a
have
little bit.
an identity crisis right now.
Let's
That's all it is.
unpack this a little bit.
No, they're
Why are you
respecting
scared to
their
be different?
identity.
Why are you
Oh.
scared to stand out from the crowd?
They need to know who they are. They need to stay 10 toes down. Yeah, it's St. Patrick's Day. Cool. You're still in Chicago. You're not in Boston. Let that keep the green jerseys to them.
Terrible take.
Be yourself.
I don't like
Tomato,
that.
tomato, tomato.
I don't like that.
Next one.
I also got
We got these Cleveland
pinched
Cavaliers
terribly.
jerseys.
I used to get pinched all the time during St. Patrick's Day, so that's why I don't
We got these
rock with
Cavs
them.
jerseys.
That's why. That's why. These are hard. And these are
They
not
wore
like
these the year after LeBron left, so nobody
Yeah.
knows about them.
Damn. That's terrible timing, bro. The amount of pictures that LeBron would have had in these jerseys. Man, oh man.
Wow.
I'm sure there's got to be a
Wow,
Photoshop
wow.
out there somewhere. Who is this player?
That's Boobie Gibson, right?
Sure.
Or is it too late? Was that too late?
I don't know.
I forget.
Well, regardless, this jersey is hard as fuck. I'm going to give this a 9.
Yeah, if we could have saw LeBron in this, it's like that famous Navy one, but you got the black version. This is tough. I like it. It sucks there's no history to it because it was the worst year of Cleveland Cavaliers history, but it's a
Number
good
one.
jersey. I'll give it
Yeah.
a 7.
Yeah, that is Daniel Boobie Gibson.
I believed you. I just didn't know.
I
Shout out to
had
Boobie, man.
I had to double check because again, nobody cared about the Cavs that year.
This is the definition of a forgotten jersey because nobody was watching this year.
Yeah.
I love it though. This is a 10 out of 10.
Ooh, 10. Okay. Next one. We got the Nets earned jersey from 2020. The NBA stopped doing
Microsoft.
earned. The NBA stopped doing earned jerseys, but I love this concept. If you make the playoffs, you get a cool jersey next year.
This is disgusting. I love the idea, the concept is cool, but this actual
Yes.
product of the jersey is disgusting. So Microsoft jersey.
Microsoft is like a tire company.
Yeah.
Yes,
Entire
I'm not-
company is perfect.
I'm
You know what
not-
it is?
I'm
They got
not
that
a fan.
Motorola patch. It looks like Motorola designed it. It looks like it's to the T Motorola.
Yeah. Android ass fucking
what
phone.
we doing?
Android ass. Get this.
We're doing
away
like
from me,
3
bro.
out of 10?
I don't like this.
I kind of like it. I'll go 5.
Nah.
I like the pattern.
If
What's
you
creative
had
about
like,
this?
Yeah, if you had like a jersey design website, you would load it up, and this would be the default jersey on there.
Y'all don't respect the homage to the subway system, the street signs.
Well, clearly Brooklyn didn't respect it either because they changed their whole court doing that too. I don't like it.
The street lines are always late in New York and Brooklyn anyway, so it doesn't matter. They don't respect themselves.
Bring back the earned jerseys. That was a cool concept, but apparently this isn't the coolest one.
Definitely not.
What about this Pistons Thunderbolt jersey?
Woo!
This is hard. This was like a
I
They
like
wore
cartoon
this.
jersey.
They wore this in their 2004 season when they won the championship.
I like this a lot. This is
Definitely a cartoon jersey. This looks like the jersey you get at Six Flags a little bit, but
I was gonna say it looks like a screenshot from Like Mike, but that's okay because that's a good movie, and I like these jerseys. I'm gonna give
This
this
is some
like
shit a
an
team
8
would
out of
do.
10.
this looks like something that a team would do today as a city jersey, trying to appeal to like 9-year-olds. But it's cool because it's old and throwback, so I like it. But if it came out today, I'm not sure I would.
No, if it came out today, I would be kind of happy with it. I'll be happy with it. Now, are you calling me a 9-year-old? Maybe.
You are a known crown eater, so that adds up. I'll give it a good 6 though,
I get a 7. This is very, very passable.
I'll go
and very
7.5.
forgotten, so it fits the theme.
Yeah, true.
Next one, we got the Gold Kings jerseys. I think history should keep this one forgotten. I'll say that.
These I will never forget these jerseys. These jerseys are entrenched into my brain
For all the
Not
wrong
only-
reasons.
for all the wrong reasons. I used to get destroyed on 2K. So people would pick the Kings, pick these
Oh, Kevin
jerseys.
Martin was giving you hell.
Oh my goodness. No, I can't stand these jerseys. I hate them with a passion.
wanna get
When I
these
see
jerseys so
this,
bad.
all I see is 20-point losses in 2K.
Oh, you
All
got
I
real
see is
PTSD.
tacky bullshit. All I see is Venice Beach. All I see is the flea market. All I see is Temu. All I see is everything wrong with jerseys.
I want to like this jersey so bad and just stand out, but I can't even troll right now. This is
You can't even be different.
Genuinely like a 1.
Yeah, I'm going 0. I'm going 0.
It's a Sharpay Evans jersey.
Don't disrespect
Yeah,
Sharpay now.
this is trash.
It's just not too much of Sharpay. Okay. What about the first year of city jerseys for the Cavs?
Oh, I hated these. Oh, I hated these so much. Oh, these are so stupid. These
No.
are idiotic.
I mentioned earlier the Motorola sponsor. Look how they designed it. Look at that Goodyear sponsor. It looks like
Yes.
Goodyear designed this. This is a tire brand jersey.
If you put sleeves on this is what the pit crew would look like in a NASCAR race. I'm not rocking with this at all.
And you know what?
I'm going 1 out of 10. And if you say something about LeBron making it like a 7, I'm gonna be upset.
See, so
Hit a
I'm
game
gonna
winner
punch
in
you.
these. He hit a game winner in these. That's all
okay.
I'm saying. He hit a game winner over Jimmy Butler in this jersey right here. LeBron made it
Donovan.
look cool. With that being
Hammers
said,
up.
I'm not even going 7.
Hammers.
I'm going 8.
Hammers.
Fuck hammers. No
Hammers.
one stop me from glazing. Y'all gonna need chainsaws, bro. Fuck it. This is the 10.
This
Hammers
sucks.
on the way.
This sucks.
It's so funny. This is the first year of city jerseys, so the Cavs fans started this whole series off on the worst low ever, and now they have some really good ones. So I'm glad they learned from this. But
This
is
looks
terrible.
like an Indiana jersey. Indiana Pacers jersey or something.
This is everything wrong with 2010 jerseys. This is just so ugly, so angular, so futuristic. It's just gross.
We're not rocking with it.
yeah.
What about the green Mavs jerseys?
Honestly,
This is
any
dope.
jersey that they have other than the ones that they have now, shout out to y'all. You guys are just trying stuff. We need more things that stick because they do need a rebrand.
Yeah.
And I like the
Now-
green.
It does kind of look like a bowling shirt, but I like it.
Are you not a good bowler?
I'm an
Sounds like a
average
skill
bowler
issue.
at best.
Okay.
But listen, if I had this on a shirt over there, I mean, maybe that'll empower me a little bit. Maybe
You
that's
can
what I
get-
need.
Yeah, you
Plus
can
10
get to like
attribute
180.
points.
You can bowl a 180 in this. And for
I'll
that,
try.
I'm giving it like a 8.
I'll
would
give it a good
this-
7. It's cool. I like the
like a
idea of
6.
green on the Mavs jerseys.
Yeah.
They should bring that concept back.
Yeah, I like the placement of the 41 too as well.
Mm,
Very cool.
Okay. Next Mavs one. The Mavs trash bag jersey.
I know
I'm
this
talking
is
about this
worse.
copper penny.
Holy shit!
Come on, guys. See, I just complimented them for trying stuff. I take that back. You can't do this. This is also a 0. 0 out of 10.
This jersey's forgotten because they wanted it to be. They wore it one time, and Mark Cuban said, "Never again. Throw that shit away." And you know what? It's actually not forgotten because we remember it when we think of the worst jerseys of all time. So I think they'd like us to forget it more.
Nope.
This jersey-
Sometimes some things have consequences, and when you roll out an actual NBA team in these jerseys, you must be remembered for the rest of history.
This jersey looks like it's like aluminum foil left in the air fryer for too long.
Yeah, it's got that grease on there, with
grainy
bacon
feel.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen. Some people have places in history because they do great things. Some people have places in history because they're a disgrace to humanity, and this is the latter.
Yeah.
You wear this jersey, I'm automatically gonna assume you stink.
Hammers.
Yeah.
You stink.
Yeah. Smelly guy.
I'm pouring OxyClean on you.
It's a terrible allegation.
I know, stinker.
Does Dirk look like he smells good in this photo right here?
No, he
I can't
doesn't.
say he does. I really can't say he does.
Yeah, exactly. Point proven.
Damn. Next one. We got these Knicks jerseys with the numbers on top for 1970.
This is a hard throwback just in terms of like a fashion thing. If the Knicks pulled this out today, I would be like, oh, this is disgusting. But understanding that it came from a certain era, you respect the history and the tradition of like what led to the jerseys now. So I appreciate
Numbers
that.
on top of the letters is crazy. That's crazy work. That is terrible. If they just flipped it, it would be cool.
They're pushing the boundaries though, and I can appreciate that. It's very different.
Yeah, listen, for 1979, innovation. Today,
Yeah.
But am I gonna buy one of these online? Maybe. Maybe.
now the shorts are hard with that New York symbol that the Yankees use now. That's tough.
See, if they put that symbol on that jersey, you got me sold. But I think I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10.
The numbers are so big. Like, it looks crazy.
Dude, yeah. Like the number 40 just on your chest is so disgusting.
Okay, that's the end of that. That's the last jersey we had. The next thing we're gonna do, let's do a King of the Court game. We did this a few weeks ago, actually about a month ago now, where I listed a bunch of point guards in a 1v1 King of the Court, where I started with one, and you know how it works. The winner of each 1v1 matchup keeps going until we see who wins at the end, who is the King of the Court. We're gonna do that again, but we're gonna do a big man this time.
All right, let's do it.
So it's real simple. I'm
Big
just
man,
name you two
King of the
players.
Court.
You tell me who would win a 1-on-1 game. Not who's better 5-on-5. 1-on-1, who would win?
Okay.
Oh, this is straight bag work. Okay.
Pretty much.
Size matters.
True. And these are all big guys, though.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, 1v1 King of the Court. Boogie versus Zion.
Boogie's destroying Zion.
Destroying?
Boogie, yeah.
Prime.
Yeah.
Listen, second 21-year-old Zion when he was insanely fast and strong.
The speed might get to Boogie in general, but I think Zion or Boogie has a better chance of stopping Zion than Zion has a better chance of stopping Boogie.
I don't know
Like,
about that. Dude,
is
Zion was stupid athletic. Remember that game he gave Rudy Gobert like 38 points in a second year?
Yeah, but like Zion doesn't have the bag to do much. Like he's just going to the rim. There's no
I
versatility
think
in
in
his game.
1-on-1, when you can run straight, real fast, real strong, and jump real high, I think that's hard to stop.
Well, Boogie can instantly just back up and just be like, all right, take the shot. Because like you're just not gonna hit that. Whereas if Boogie gets the ball first, Zion doesn't know what's about to happen. Because
His game is unpredictable.
Yeah, Boogie can do a lot more things than Zion can. I'm gonna take Boogie.
Okay, I voted. Okay, so now Boogie versus Marc Gasol.
Is Boogie
A
going on a
DPOY
run here?
with a deceptive post bag.
I think I'm going Marc Gasol here.
I think Marc Gasol's
I'm-
putting Boogie in a torture chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marc Gasol is big, man. Like
He's huge.
prime Marc Gasol was a big dude.
He can move his feet too. He's not getting dusted.
If he wasn't as elite as he is in defense, then I would lean Boogie. But the defense matters for this instance. So
Yeah, and
I'm
Mark
gonna
can
go
shoot too.
Marc.
So they both got range. I don't know.
Dude, I miss Marc Gasol in the NBA.
He was nice. Okay, Marc Gasol versus Pau Gasol.
I'm giving the nod to the older brother. He knows
Ooh,
him.
we're going Mark.
He
Oh no, Pau's older. Never
yeah.
mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Pau. He knows him. He raised him. He taught him all the tricks. Going
Throwing
Pau.
it back to the days in the backyard. There's a certain mental advantage there that you can't look past.
Exactly.
Seniority, I'm with it. Let's do it. I would respect
Okay.
others.
Pau Gasol versus Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis is destroying Pau Gasol. I love Pau.
1-on-1. Sorry, pal. I'm sorry. I love you. Lakers legend. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's
Anthony Davis.
he's just not equipped for that athleticism.
Yeah.
Different animal
One hezzy
and the same
tween.
beast.
One hezzy tween, he might tear both ACLs at once, bro. I'm
All right. Let's not disrespect Powell like that.
Calm down.
getting dusted.
It'll be an easy win, but I don't know if it's going to break any bones. Anthony Davis versus Joel Embiid.
Joel,
This is where this game might end depending on who you
I'm
have.
not going to lie. Joel Embiid might win this list. Joel Embiid is a perfect 1v1 player.
This is where this game ends, probably, unless you have like Hakeem or something like that. But
Yeah,
I'm
it's like,
taking
what if-
Joel Embiid.
Listen, 36 point per game Joel Embiid before he got hurt last year. That's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, DPOY level defense, bro. Too, from time to time. I think I'm leaning Joel Embiid.
7'2" Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm going with Joel. Joel versus Nikola Jokic.
Jokic.
1-on-1, I'm going Joel Embiid.
Listen, I won't stop you from glazing Jokic. You know me.
Who gets ball
Yeah.
first? Who gets ball first?
The winner. So Joel Embiid.
All right, that's kind of tough.
It's
Joel
Joel
Embiid's
Embiid.
winning. Joel Embiid's winning. 1v1.
Yeah.
This is
It's
the
Joel
one
Embiid.
time. The one instance we'll say Joel Embiid's better than Jokic. And that's 1-on-1.
Yeah, exactly. In a team game,
Count your
I'm gonna go
days.
Jokic for sure. But
It's never
Come on
happened
now.
5-on-5, but 1-on-1, you got it, Joe.
yeah, exactly.
Joel Embiid versus Tim Duncan.
Locked up. Tim Duncan.
What? I'm going Joel Embiid in this. I don't think. I
It
understand.
sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. I think Mo's right.
It's Joel Embiid.
You know why it sounds crazy?
Why?
Because it is crazy. I'm going Tim Duncan. I'm going Tim Duncan.
I
don't
know.
think
I
Tim
mean,
has
Tim
the
Duncan's scoring bag
versatility.
isn't necessarily equipped for 1v1.
Yeah, like I love the bank shot, but that's not enough, bro.
I think Joel
That's
Embiid
not
can keep up defensively.
What do you mean it's not enough? It's unstoppable.
So is a Joel Embiid midi.
See, even
First of all-
Kitty agrees too. It's Joel Embiid.
You have no idea.
Good time talking was this chick.
Left block, right block, right elbow, bank shots all day, running hooks. Tim Duncan has all the tools. He can score on Embiid. It's not like if they played a game to 11, what do you think? What do you think?
But
the
how
score's
much
gonna
could he
be?
score on Joel Embiid though? Is the question.
Do you think? Time out. If they played a game to 11, do you think that Embiid is winning like 11-5?
I'm not
maybe.
gonna say 11-5. Maybe like 11-7 or.
I don't know the
11-8.
margin. Yeah, I'm not thinking about the margin, but I think Joel Embiid wins.
Yeah,
Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan
wins
just
that.
doesn't have the creativity, and I think you're underrating Joel Embiid.
He doesn't need the. Y'all gonna give me the.
He does. It's one-on-one.
He doesn't need the creativity.
You just don't like Joel Embiid is all it is. That's what I'm
No,
realizing.
no.
You couldn't wait to have an all-time great in this and just be like,
First
oh,
of
yeah.
all, first of
Donovan
all,
be at the unctions talking about Tim Duncan being top 4 in the league. He can't bear to hear Joel Embiid's better at 1-on-1.
Tim Duncan can go and do anything that works. If all I need to do is a drop step and a little baby hook, that's all that I need. I'll do that to you 10 times in a row. Tim Duncan has all the tools to Tim Duncan went toe-to-toe with Shaq. You think he's scared of Joel Embiid?
He's never seen someone like
I'm
Shaq
sure Tim
go ahead
Duncan is
and
going to
do
be real
pull-up
brave
heads.
about it. I'm sure he won't be scared. I'm sure he'll be extremely brave. Nevertheless, I'm going Joel Embiid in a close victory.
It's Joel.
Y'all are
Sorry.
Y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping.
And we'll end it there just because this is a hilarious point.
That's hilarious, bro.
I'm Max.
Joel
I know
Embiid.
you have like David Robinson next or something like that.
I know, we'll keep going. Joel Embiid versus Giannis.
Oh shit, this is where it ends. It's Giannis. I now something I will say is that it does sound hypocritical to pick someone like Giannis, even though his offensive game was limited. But there's only so much you can do with like 7 foot running full strength at the rim, bro. Like
But he doesn't
Where
get
are they
ball
starting
first.
from?
But he doesn't get
And where-
good ball first.
Well, he can start. Where are they starting from? Can you get a full head of steam? Or are they starting from the elbow? Because they're bigger. Where are we playing this from?
I think they start at the top. Stop at the key.
If it's 1-on-1 and it's like 2 dribbles, 3 dribbles, there's no way Giannis is winning.
I think
Is there
Giannis
any
is
way
doing all the
somebody-
dirty work though. He's gonna.
Can
he's gonna,
anybody
like,
stay in front of
fall
Giannis for
balls.
3 dribbles? Like, is there anybody that can stop him from blowing by?
I'm going Giannis,
Like that length. But Joel Embiid's also long. He has the length to like make it difficult.
but I don't think he has enough foot speed though. I don't think the length is enough to recover. Plus,
This is a
Giannis
hard
is
one. I
getting
wanna
on the
see this.
ground for that ball, bro. Giannis is.
This is a really tough matchup. I don't know. Like traditional 1-on-1 thoughts makes you think Joel Embiid, the jumper's going to win. You can't stop him the same reasons you can't stop KD. But I feel like Giannis' athleticism is a cheat code in 1-on-1.
Yeah, exactly. It's what you thought about Zion Williamson and how his athleticism could like steer him to wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Giannis real life that.
Donovan,
And now he has an also newfound mid range.
I'm going to beat on this one.
You're going Embiid.
Then we'll go with Embiid. We'll let Embiid have a victory. You win the 1-on-1 king of the court game. We'll end it there. We gotta give Embiid the small wins.
He would beat Giannis in a 1-on-1.
I think honestly, I low key think that maybe Kareem would beat him, but Joel Embiid, if it's all time bigs, has a good chance of winning. He's built for 1-on-1.
That's crazy.
I mean, we know there's 3 guys that I probably like hands
Hakeem
down.
And Kareem is like the competition with him.
I would not pick him against Shaq. I would not pick him against Hakeem, and I would not pick him against Wilt.
I don't know how to consider Wilt, but yeah, Shaq. I don't. 1-on-1 is 3 dribbles. I mean, that's not very many. If we're starting from, do we get to let Shaq start at the fucking bottom of the rim?
If it's at the elbow, then yeah, like Shaq would win. But you can't. That's not how 1-on-1 works. Like top of the key.
If we're starting from the 3-point line, I'm not going Shaq. I guarantee you, I'm going Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, it's very big of you to say Joel Embiid is top 5 at least. So that's baby steps for you.
That's amazing. Well, 2025 new year. It's not the new you, Donovan. It's not the same you, Donovan.
Stop that. I'm not.
You're moving different.
We're not doing this.
Dude, you love Joel Embiid. This is awesome. You really love him now.
There was a certain point, like 2018, circa 2018. I was a very big Joel Embiid fan, and he was like one of my favorite Joel Embiid performances. He scored 40 on the baby Lakers in LA. That was amazing. Like I was a very big fan.
I think you might have single-handedly made me a Joel Embiid fan. I think just like dealing with the hatred and being like, what are we fucking talking about, has made me a Joel Embiid fan by proxy. Like I've spent so much time defending him. I'm like, oh yeah, he is the most underrated player of his generation. He does get hated too much. I think I love this guy.
Generation?
Here we go.
I pulled that out of my ass, but probably because of all the downsides. His upsides probably are super underrated.
I'll see you guys next week.
And that's an episode.
This has been a great episode. This has been a great time. Hope y'all enjoyed the conversation.
Joel Embiid, if you have one defender, I'm still alive.
If you guys are still here, comment you don't understand, right? And we will see you guys next week.
Comment. You have no idea how good Tim Duncan was.
All right, ciao.
And we'll see y'all next week.